Hey, hello, and welcome to my kitchen. Hello, Fallen Age. How are you guys doing today? It's Super Bowl Sunday here in the States. Hey, Darth, how are you? How's it going? You got a lot of food ready for the Super Bowl today? Even though I don't think you and I care about too much about any of the people in the Super Bowl. Hi, Fajita Phantom. How are you guys doing? Brittany, hello, hello. Hey, we're making some stuff. It ain't healthy, but it's going to be yummy. I'm actually going to make Nashville chicken sliders the right way today. So that way, Aladdin's girl, meh, football, whatever. I mean, I'm from St. Louis, so I used to be a Rams fan, but then they deserted us, so not anymore. Pizza dough. Oh my gosh! Hey, Hot and Ready, how are you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you. Thank you for the subscription. Hey, this is what we're doing. Let's see here. I'll show you a couple. And oh, look, Darth, you get yours too. I'm gonna put these under here. And this way. Here we go. And they're little magnet hearts, like conversation hearts, and they're going on my refrigerator. So there we go. There we go. Thank you so much for subscribing. Let's get you on the board here. First thing off, so I don't forget. And so today we're gonna make Nashville sliders the right way, because last time I made it, while it was really yummy, because Robbie ate all of it, there were no leftovers. And it was enough for 4 people. I'm going to actually make them the right way today and see if we like the wrong way better than the right way. Who knows? And then we're going to be doing some Cuban sliders, which are super simple to make because I have leftover pork from the tamales. And so we're going to kind of zhuzh that up a little bit and make it into a Cuban, because Robbie's favorite sandwich is a Cuban. And then we are also going to make some chili and some Frito pie. So awesome. I'm excited. Hey, Claire. Oh, it's going to be live in Scotland. That's good. So this will be perfect because we're doing it early so that everybody can go watch football that wants football. I know not everybody loves it, but I know that Robbie wants to watch it. So there we go. Thanks for the shout out to Darth. Darth is one of our other food and drink streamers. And I'm telling you guys, if you're not following Darth and watching, you will love him. You will love him. So get in there. He makes, you know how my food sometimes tends to get a little complicated? I think Darth's isn't typically as like I am. So a little more chill, You're looking, I know, I love cooking and learning all about it. So, all right, so Hot and Ready. Let's get your name on there and get my pen working here. Woo, Hot and Ready. It's gonna have to go on 2 lines because these are not the biggest hearts here, and a 5. So thank you so much. That's awesome, 5 months. I think that's great because, I've only been on the air since, I've only been doing this since May. So, yay. Okay, so the first thing, what I did wrong last time with my chicken is that I put it in the refrigerator in a mix of buttermilk and hot sauce for a few hours. And actually, you're supposed to be putting it in the refrigerator with that spice mixture that we made. So we're gonna make that spice mixture again and then put the chicken in the refrigerator until we're ready to fry it. And then the buttermilk is actually what we're gonna dredge it in and put the flour on it. And then we're still gonna make a sauce with the rest of the spice mixture to pour over the chicken because, we want Robbie's mouth on fire because that's what he wants. So there we go. So that's what we're going to start with today. So I've got chicken thighs. They're skinless, boneless chicken thighs. And of course, we have all of our goodies that we're going to be putting in the sauce. I want to make sure that I get the ratio of everything right. So let me grab the recipe for it. And we are going to start. It calls for 5 to 6 tablespoons of cayenne pepper. So I'm going to ask Robbie, We use 2.5 tablespoons of the cayenne pepper. Do you want twice the heat in your chicken?
Let's go up to 3 instead.
3 tablespoons. Okay, we're gonna do 3 tablespoons. I have plenty, by the way, cayenne pepper, because I bought a lot just for this. So I have that cayenne pepper out. I don't know why, because it's really hard to use the tablespoon for that. Thanks for being here, Darth. Let's see, Aladdin's girl ordered Jersey Mike's early. That is awesome. Aww. Yes, Darth is awesome, and his wife Sarah is awesome. And because I know that you guys are here for the dogs, he has 2 of the cutest dogs also. So Super Bowl Sunday, absolutely. I need to make sure I count this right. That's 1. This is cayenne pepper.
This is very important to count correctly.
Yes, we don't. Wow, it's already getting up my nose, and I'm just standing here. So how are you guys doing today, too? Are we doing good? Oh, that's 2.5 again. I'm going to have to pull some out of the other one. Pour that in there. Make this a little hotter. So how many people here have had Nashville hot chicken? Like for real? So that's a little over 3 tablespoons, Robbie. We'll see.
We'll say that's good.
Okay.
We'll try this. Maybe we'll go to 5 next time.
I mean, I might not be able to eat it at 5, but... And actually, I wanted to make this in this bowl, because we're going to put the chicken in this bowl. But I'm going to go sneeze now, so hang on. So apparently, spicy stuff makes Robbie hiccup, but it makes me sneeze when I inhale it like that.
Makes you look like Rocky.
Woke up with a headache and you need food. You know what? First of all, if you woke up with a headache, if you haven't had any water, you probably want to start with some water. I always find that helps first. Okay, I need 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar. This is a half, so I need to count to 4. 1, 2. True Blue Nashville Hot, but you had someone's version of it. You think they broke the recipe, so it was good they broke the recipe or bad they broke the recipe? Was that 2? That was 2. And actually, I think I've got that pretty close. See, this is easy to count because the little brown sugars and the little half tablespoon things. Oh, you didn't care for it. So I think one of the problems, and this is with anything spicy, chili or Nashville hot chicken or whatever, sometimes people just go for spicy. And Robbie and I here both want something that has flavor to it. So like it has to have a complex flavor with the spice kind of a punch to it. So hopefully, you want this knife? This is an awesome knife. It's a really nice knife. Teaspoon. Let me find my teaspoons.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter how spicy it is. If it doesn't have good flavor, it's going to be awful.
Yeah, and so you want to make sure you have like all these different spices, the chili spices, this does not have cumin in it, so we're going to put the cumin away for now. I have that in other things. But it does have garlic, paprika, and chili seasoning in it, so. Yeah, so go grab some water. The kitchen isn't going to clean itself. I mean, I don't know. I'm done streaming and somehow the kitchen. That's not true.
Even then, I don't do all of it.
That's true. All right, we need a teaspoon of chili powder. So Darth, maybe sometime I'll make you some Nashville hot chicken and you can see if you like it when I make it. A teaspoon of, it's supposed to be granulated garlic. I don't happen to have any of that with me, so I'm just going to use garlic powder and probably a little less than a teaspoon. Although I like garlic, so it's okay if there's extra garlicky flavor. And then we need some paprika, and we need a teaspoon of paprika. And we're going to pour that too, because we don't want to get chili powder and garlic in our paprika. I kind of smelled my I have both smoked and sweet paprika, and I decided to go with the sweet paprika. I think that's what I went with last time, and I think we really liked the flavor of that. All right, here we go. Let's mush that up and get that all stirred together. All right, then if I were making a full Nashville hot chicken sandwich, I would use the whole chicken thigh in it. But I'm going to cut it down into smaller sizes because we want our little sliders to maybe be about 3-4 bites worth, because we're going to be making some potatoes, and hopefully they'll turn out good to fry and use as our bun instead of using bread for these. So here's a thought. WrestleMania weekend is happening on April 2nd and 3rd. So what do you think a WrestleMania cooking stream would look like? Is it that Robbie and I would fight in the kitchen? Wrestle in the kitchen? All right, I'll put that down here for now.
I did write it down, though, for a possible idea.
All right, so here is our chicken thighs. We're going to cut these into what I think are little bite-size yummy amounts. Because I was playing with potatoes earlier today, trying to get them to fry. I have a knife, and you'll see it later, that's like a crinkly edge to it, and I was trying to make the waffle fries with that, and it wasn't really quite working. So they're really more like crinkle potato wedges. And then I tried a couple of different ways to fry them. So I tried blanching them, but I think I blanched them too long because they completely fell apart. And then the other thing I did was soak them in just some cold water for about 20 minutes. And then took them out and let them dry out. And then I double fried both batches, but I think that the second time around when I fried them, the oil wasn't hot enough. So we're gonna try something a little different and see if it comes out better. I kind of like this idea of, when you have people over, is having things like sliders, especially if you have a variety of them where people can have more than one. Kind of like my Christmas cookies. I make my Christmas cookies really small so you don't have to just choose and have a couple of them before you're like, okay, that's enough cookies for tonight. These are a little bit different sizes in here, but what are you gonna do? Oh, see, and that's the really good part of the chicken right there. Has so much flavor. There's a name for it. Does anybody remember what the name of that part of the chicken is? It's off of the thigh, but it's really meaty. I'm trying to remember.
Is it yum?
It's like, yeah, it's got a lot of flavor to it. Like if I cut this, it's going to be 2 very small sliders. I'm going to put that in there as one. I'll stick that in there. We'll fry it anyway. Why not, right? Why not? How are you guys doing? I mean, I know that Fajita Phantom is going to go grab some water to fight the headache, but how are the rest of you guys doing? Darth is cleaning the kitchen. Not most people's favorite activity. Let's do that. And then we'll do 2 this way. Let that bite size yumminess. Get that little piece off there. We don't need that on there. And there we go. Woo. And I also have a Hawaiian rolls just in case. I mean, I have extra ones in case we decide we want our chicken slider on a Hawaiian roll. And by we, I mean Robbie.
I do like Hawaiian rolls.
Yes. So we bought a couple of dozen of those. And by we, I mean me. I'm using the royal we. Let me clean my knife off here real quick. Hello. Because I do want to use my favorite knife when I'm chopping stuff up. I have other knives. I love them as well. I do have a favorite. Unlike children, I don't have a favorite child. Has anybody ever seen the meme of when people ask me to pick my favorite child, I didn't realize it had to be one of my own. You just finished breakfast? Yes, 12:16 here, so right past breakfast time. Robbie, you didn't get any breakfast.
Saving room for all the sliders.
Makes sense. All right, we're gonna dump some of this in here and toss this chicken. Make sure we get this on all sides of it. And then we're gonna let that sit in the refrigerator for a little bit. Hey, Robbie, can you pour a little bit more of that since I have chicken all over my hands now? Hi, Xerox. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now Robbie's gonna open up the refrigerator and put that chicken in the refrigerator until we are ready to fry it.
Sure.
I mean, I'm giving you the hard job there, finding room. Find some room. All right, later we'll get a coating on that and get it in fried up. But that's the first thing you've got to do. And we're going to save all of this yumminess here to make the sauce to put on the top of it. It's the opposite direction, Dana. You know this. You went to school for this. Okay, let's get started on the chili. Let's see here. Since WrestleMania is in Texas, why not Texas style cooking? Okay, so do we still need to wrestle in the kitchen? That's a possibility. I haven't made April's menu yet, but Robbie is writing it all down for me. All right, so we're gonna make some chili. So my mom used to call her recipe a Texas chili, but it had lots of beans in it. So this is kind of a mixture of a recipe I found online and my mom's recipe. So even though I'm in Texas, this is not going to be what is considered Texas chili because I am going to put beans in it because I happen to like beans in my chili. So we're going to start by grounding our own meat. And what I've got here that I'm going to ground the meat from, I'm going to go open this over the sink though because you can see it's a little juicy, is that I've got mostly ground chuck. I've got about almost a pound of ground chuck. And then I've got about 11 ounces of sirloin. So we've got some good flavor going in there. Dishes that make people bulk up. Now, I mean, butter. I don't need any more dishes to bulk up. I've got all the bulk I need.
Or like lots and lots of protein.
Yeah. All right, let me go open these bags here. So I'll tell you what I do for ground beef now that I have this lovely grinder, is that I go to Costco and buy big amounts of like chuck and sirloin, and then I just cut them up and put them in the freezer bags so that it's about, and I do it with pork too, so when I need to ground up pork, and I do them in roughly around about a pound each, but and then it's a lot cheaper and it's much better. Robbie will attest to the fact that it just tastes better when you do it that way.
There's no going back once you try it this way.
It's crazy. So we're gonna make chili in this because I still have pots with, what do we have in the other pots? We have the soup from Thursday, and then the rice is still in there that we made. All right, I'm gonna try and catch all of this in this bowl. We're gonna see if I can do it. And I'm gonna need to get this cutting board over here soon too. Into the trash. All All right. Yeah, that bowl's not going to be big enough. So let's not even try. Let's get a bigger bowl before I regret it. Because I will. Does anybody else grind up their own meat, or is it just me? I forgot to cut this meat up. So I'll be doing it over here. I'm going to just make a mess over here and clean it up. Because see, look, already making a mess. Because I did not plan that very well. Let's turn that off for a second. I'm going to cut this up into pieces that will actually fit into my grinder. As Robbie winces as I cut this way without a cutting board.
Or you just need a bigger grinder.
I think this one is just fine. I think I just need to be better at saying, oh, I should have kept the other cutting board out and cut the meat on it. And done all that. Turned it over. Beef on one side, chicken on the other. This is also about the mix I would use to make hamburgers, with beef hamburgers. Because you definitely want to make sure you're not using meat that's too lean unless you're somehow adding moisture back into it. You want that chuck, especially 80% chuck. Then you get those nice juicy burgers, which we're making next Sunday, by the way. We're going to make burgers. Gouda burgers. And next Sunday, we're doing a charity stream. What charity, you ask? I haven't decided yet. Maybe Starlight Foundation. Because I have a lot of charities that I just really love what they do. And on Twitch, you work with Tiltify, if you were unaware of that. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to grind some meat. This is one of those things I think is a pretty satisfying. Here, we can put that in another bowl so I don't accidentally bury some. And Robbie's going to make sure you guys can see. These kinds of things are really satisfying, I think, to watch. I think for this you want like 2. You're setting on 2. But look at that. No Tom Brady. I agree, Master of Sports. He's a great quarterback. I will give him that. I don't really like him. But it's kind of interesting because how many teams does California need? How many teams do they have right now?
3?
No. That's all. LA has 3, right?
They have 2.
Oakland 49ers, Rams.
Who's in Oakland?
Chargers.
They're in LA.
Huh?
They're in LA.
Who?
Chargers.
Oakland Raiders.
They're in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. They went to Vegas. They keep moving around. I can't keep track. I remember back in the day when teams stayed in place and players stayed on the team.
Like the Colts?
The Colts were the exception to the rule.
Or the Oilers?
That didn't happen when I was a kid. That happened when I was adult. Yeah. If you're a Tom Brady fan, awesome. You have every right. Why are you spitting at me? Okay. Look at that. See, can you see the difference? Like when you do this ground meat by yourself, it's not all squished together. It's just this nice, so tender, and it has so much more flavor. That, yes. Joe Montana, dry stays. I grew up, while I'm from St. Louis, I actually grew up in Houston. So I was a big Oilers fan. And I would actually, every Sunday, they had this pullout in the magazine inside the newspaper. And I would take that pullout, and it had a poster, and I'd put the poster on my wall. Back in the Oilers days, when there was the Oilers, who are now the Titans. All right, I was sad about that. There we go. So yeah, so now we've made our own ground beef. I need to start chopping a few vegetables for the chili. So my dad worked for Anheuser-Busch, if you guys are new here and don't know that. And so many of our foods actually had beer in it. And I'm going to actually add beer to the chili. As a matter of fact, when we did fried chicken, the fried chicken had beer. Instead of buttermilk, we used beer. So let's clean this up a little bit because it is a mess. Who knew that was going to be so messy?
Me.
You did.
I did.
How did you know that?
Because you've done this before.
But it hasn't been this messy before. If you want to, Bobby, I'm going to need the colander at some point. I don't need it right now, but at some point I'm going to need the colander. All right, so some things that are going on as we're doing this. If you subscribe, your name gets to get on a little conversation heart on my refrigerator. If we hit our big goal, then I'm going to be attempting to make the Milk Bar birthday cake. So I think, is there an image of that? On the page?
Down below.
Yeah, so down below there's an image of that. Something I've never made, but it sounds yummy. I'm going to try and convince my friend who's made it to come help me. That'd be Melissa. See if she would help me. And then, just as a reminder, if you want Robbie to do some of the cooking, you can trade in bits for that too.
They knew you were having way too much fun doing
This.
process.
So far. Absolutely.
I don't want to take away your joy, Dana.
It gives me a break, so it's absolutely fine. Let me get my other cutting board that I conveniently put everything else on. So for our chili, we're going to be putting some onion in there. We've got a lot of spices going in as well. I think this also has garlic in it because we're going to be putting some, even if it's not, it says garlic powder. We're going to make some actual garlic instead of fake garlic. Yep. Let me drop stuff on the floor.
That's what you do.
All right, is anybody rooting for anybody in particular? You look forward to it. It's just great seeing something. Oh, okay. So is anybody rooting for anybody in the Super Bowl? Does anybody have a person they hope wins?
I think I'll be happy either way.
Will you? Because it's not Tom Brady?
Well, because we either got the former Detroit Lions quarterback.
Yeah.
We got new Bengals finally back there.
Yeah. It'll be fun to watch and actually be okay with whoever wins.
Instead of a couple of years ago where it was the Eagles and the Patriots.
Patriots, and I was like, yeah, how can we make it so neither of them win? But yeah, and I am too. I always hope that there's some good surprises with the commercials, but nowadays they put so many teasers out, or you see them. You have to work hard sometimes to not see some of them online. Like even like morning shows will show them ahead of time. I'm like, no. We want to watch it during the Super Bowl. Want it to be a surprise. It's kind of like when shows come out on streaming services at midnight and it's something you watch. You have to be really careful because so many places like to spoil the surprise. Hey, hello, OMG Pete. Welcome in. We are working on our chili right now, and of course, if people want just chili, that's absolutely okay. But we're in Texas, so I'm gonna show you a way to do Frito pie where you don't have to have a big bowl, and that's kind of a fun way if you're having a party or having people over that they can have it more appetizer or small bite style. So I start. I'm gonna cut some onion here. I'm gonna let this olive oil, I put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in my pot because whenever I cook chili, I like to cook the onions and then first, and then put the garlic in once the onions are fragrant, or once the onions are soft, I like to put the garlic in to let it release its oils in there, and then the peppers, and then, actually I'll probably put the ground beef in and then some peppers. And I pulled all of my peppers out. That was just terrible, Dana. That was terrible cutting there. Let's get some of these big pieces out. Okay. So we'll have to decide which peppers we want. I've got jalapenos, Fresnos, and a serrano. But I don't want that much in there, and I don't want to muddle the flavors with too many different peppers. So I'm still deciding. So, a full English breakfast for a streamer. Oh, that was awesome. Yeah. Okay, my eyes. Okay. It's so funny, it feels like early spring here again.
Sure does.
I
believe we had ice a week ago.
We had winter part 3 yesterday. It's kind of like the Hobbit of weather. First spring, second spring, sprummer.
Now you're just making up words again.
I know, isn't it fun? All right, let's get some garlic going here. See if it looks good. It's so expensive to get ingredients and stuff though when you're like overseas. I've tried with a couple of things, and like there was a drink that I wanted from there, and you know, it costs like a couple dollars if you're there. And if you had it sent here and you had to get like a case, but it was like $6, and so now all of a sudden your case is like $150 for something that you just thought was interesting. It's a weird garlic. Huh? Yes, it is. I mean, just trying to send something to Hawaii was expensive. And it's taken longer too. Somebody sent me a baby shower invitation from, I think it was Arizona. It was New Mexico or Arizona. Took a week and a half to get here, an invitation. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, we're gonna mince this garlic up. I got a couple cloves. Like I said, the recipe calls for garlic powder, which you could certainly use. But I prefer fresh garlic over garlic powder any time that I have time to mess with it. Yeah, that's expensive. I'm supposed to be going to, I don't know if any of you follow Pantry Elf and Little Miss Nikki, but I'm supposed to be going to an Asian market around here at some point with them. In which case, you will see some Asian food on the menu. All right, we're gonna get the onions into this olive oil here and let those soften up. That's pretty hot. Let's turn that down a little bit. I wanted to use my big stock pot, but there's still Italian wedding soup in there. Well, it was even expensive for me to send stuff to Kelsey, though Kelsey says she has some tricks, so I'm going to need to learn those from her. Because I guess when you own a store, I got little pieces of onion peel in there that we don't want. I guess you learn all the tricks when you're constantly shipping things to people. Okay, I think I got it all. Let's see here. That's a possible. That would be awesome. It's in December. I mean, that's a long way away, so you're going to have to remind me of that, Master Splits. I'm always up. So if you're not in the Discord yet, I love ideas in the Discord, and I took and did a bunch of them. Like we did the bacon explosion a couple of weeks ago. So if you have ideas for dishes or even things, I love themed things, if we can get it. Throw that in the Discord, because then at least it's there for me to remember if I forget. So is that different from ramen? Is that like, or is that the same thing? Because again, Asian cooking is one of those things I'm just beginning to, probably just the last couple of years, do anything other than stir fry. So, and I love trying to cook things from other places in the world. Sometimes it's kind of odd though, you know, like you taste something, and because you grew up eating certain things certain ways, it's flavors you're not accustomed to together. Right? Okay, so do you want Fresnos or do you want jalapeno in the chili? I don't think I'm going to do Serrano. You don't know? All right. Let's do Fresnos. Oh, it's a carbonated drink. Okay. I probably should know that because I bet Kelsey drinks it. All right, we're gonna put our ground beef in here now. And let that start to brown, because we do want it to brown, because when we brown the meat, it brings extra flavor to the dish. Let's put that there. So it's more like, you think it's more like a seltzer? Then I would say probably for most Americans it doesn't have enough sugar in it, which is something we should learn to do without. I don't really drink soft drinks anymore. Don't you love the seagulls in the mine?
We've heard that one in a while.
We have not, and I love that. That always made me laugh in the movie. Mine. Reminds me of kids.
Or me.
Or you. Here, can I rinse these off and get the seeds off real quick? All right. You love the World Cup. Oh, so it's like 7-Up. 7-Up is still pretty sweet. But man, some of the newer soft drinks, like when I was in college, back even in the 80s, some of the soft drinks just started getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So, Mitsuwa cider. I haven't tried Mitsuwa. What's different from other ciders for that? And don't say flavor, because I'm assuming that part. What's it like? All right, there we go. Starting to get brown. I think I need to turn the heat up a little bit so we get a darker brown on there. Okay, any romantic dishes for tomorrow? I'll be honest with you, I haven't even thought about tomorrow yet. We actually went out to dinner last night and went and had steak and ahi tacos that were awesome. Yep, we just ate them really fast. And then we had the yoga studio that I go to. They had a couples dance thing. So one of the teachers there used to own her own dance studio. So she was doing like Dance 101. So we did the salsa and the two-step and waltz, and then it was kind of a mishmash of everything. And then the hustle, which was fun. But that was kind of our celebration, because you know what, Robbie and I, when we've gone out on Valentine's Day, a lot of times we've been really disappointed in the food. And I think next year, well, no, so like tomorrow I may cook something, but we'll see how much food is left over from today, because it may be a leftover night. And I do have a couple of fillets left in the freezer, so I could do steak Diane, which was good, and do some flambeing, because I assume all of you guys like fire, cooking in fire. We have no flambeing today. Our fire comes in the form of heat. That is a lot of spice right there with the Fresno chilies. But I'm not a big, it looks so pretty when people put like the rounds of like jalapenos or peppers and things. But to me, it's like, I don't want a gigantic pepper. I don't want to eat that. All right, we're getting there. Now we're probably not going to get any of that like dark brown caramelization in here because it's steaming a lot, excuse me. Because the pan is a little smaller. What?
Just making sure you didn't want that on yet, the other one.
No, I don't want that on yet. So we're going to be frying two things today. We're going to be frying some potatoes, and we're going to be frying our Nashville hot chicken. So I think what we'll do from here is put together the Cuban sliders. We won't put them in the oven yet. We'll get everything ready for it. And cut up some other things for our Frito pie once we get this started, because chili, as you probably already know, is one of those things that the longer it cooks and sits and the next day it's better, right? I'm gonna go ahead and put these in there. And I had just decided I didn't want that jalapeno flavor. Okay, so for this chili recipe, we are going to need chili powder, cumin. I've already got garlic in there. And we're gonna need some tomato paste, some tomato sauce, some diced tomatoes, kidney beans. I hope I can fit all of this in this pot. Some beer. I may put a little bit of beef broth in there. What else? I need a little sugar, salt, pepper, S&P. S&P. No. Okay. Can you guys believe we are almost halfway through February? I feel like this year is already flown by. It may be because I was sick for the first 2 weeks. Salt and pepper. Do you want a little cayenne? You want a little more heat in this?
Sure.
Okay. We'll put a little bit. I need something that's not super spicy. And this will be one of those days where I'm just kind of like, yeah, that looks like the right amount. We want a bunch of cumin in here. Because I love cumin. I hope you do too, Robbie. And obviously we want a bunch of chili powder.
That's the stuff that makes everything yellow, right?
No, that's saffron or turmeric.
Turmeric. Yeah, that's the one I don't like just because it's a pain
To clean.
to clean up after.
Yeah.
You gotta be real careful.
All right, and we're gonna want some pepper. I'm actually, with the salt, I'm gonna put pepper in here, but I'm gonna wait to put salt in here until I've got everything mixed together, because a lot of these things like fire roasted diced tomatoes have salt in them. The kidney beans has salt in them, so you don't wanna overdo the salt. So we need tomato paste. Let me get my, it feels weird, like streaming at noon when you haven't done it. Another thought, but it's a terrible idea. March 13th is the 2-year anniversary of the pandemic. A pandemic cooking stream. I mean, I would not probably be streaming if it weren't for the pandemic.
That could be a good clean out the pantry.
It could be,
stream.
actually.
Like, hey,
That's
we
a
can't
great
go out.
idea.
What can we make today?
I do just a couple of tablespoons, and I didn't have my handy dandy. They have those things that look like toothpaste tubes that they do tomato paste in. I much prefer that because then you don't waste a whole can of tomato paste for a couple of tablespoons. But I finished it up and I didn't buy any more. So luckily I still had a can. Let's get that mixed in there. Dogs, there's chili on the floor.
One's asleep, the other one's outside.
Okay. So, I don't think that's a terrible idea. I don't know that I'm streaming on the 13th though, but we can definitely do a clean out the pantry because, you know, those first couple of weeks were a lot about what do I already have in the house. Let's see, so black pepper, cayenne pepper. So it wants 1.5 cups of the beef broth.
You are streaming the 13th, by the way.
I am? Okay. So we're gonna put some fire roasted tomatoes in there. I'm gonna drain the kidney beans. I know, I hear you. I hear you. You could just use, if you can't find the fire roasted tomatoes, you can just use petite diced tomatoes. I don't typically, like these are just fire roasted. You could use the flavored ones, but make sure that you're adjusting your recipe at that point. If it's already got like chili powder and things, because so many of them now have those kinds of things in them. Okay, put our kidney beans. So, shh, please do not tell my Texas people I just put beans in my chili. I'll be very angry if you do. So do you guys like chili? And if you like chili, do you like chili with beans, without beans, vegetarian chili, chicken chili? What kind of chili do you like? All right, I'm gonna put this 8-ounce can of tomato sauce in here too. And I'm gonna put just a little bit, we want about another 1.5 cups of liquid in here. I'm gonna put a little beef broth for some flavor. And then about 6 ounces of beer. And I may adjust that later as I taste it and go along. I've made chili so many different ways now. I just kind of do it by the seat of my pants. With beans. Let's see, white chicken chili. I do love that. Ooh, blah, blah, blah. Let me try that again with actual words instead of just spit. Spring cleaning survival meal. I like it. And I do need to clean stuff out. I've been trying to cook with what I have as much as I can because next week, a week from tomorrow, I have to pull everything out of my laundry room because we're redoing the laundry room. They might kick me out of the state. This is very true, Wild Horse. Hand sign, yes, we could totally do that. It was crazy. I tried to be nice though and not like overbuy toilet paper. I'm like, it will be there. If I need it, it will be there. And I'm all about washing hands. I'm not a huge, let's wipe everything down with sanitizer. All right, let's taste this. Let's see how it's doing. And then we're gonna let it simmer. That's good. I don't think I need salt. Robbie's like, what? Dana doesn't think something needs salt?
Are you
It
sure
might
you're
need a-
feeling okay?
It might need a tiny bit, but I will let it go. Did I get the lid out for this already?
There's one there.
That's the one I need. It probably didn't need to be washed because it hadn't been used
I
yet.
didn't touch it, it was just there.
Oh. Well, there we go. Now we know. So I have, this one here is actually a simmer plate, so I'm going to put it there. Yes, yes. So in Texas, they're like, it's all about the meat. But the thing is that beans are so good for you. It's cheaper, especially now that beans are so expensive. Not beans, meat. Ground beef is getting it really expensive. It gives you fiber, which is always good for you. So it's a nice, cheap, lean protein kind of thing. So no beans. No beans for Xerox. So I love chili without beans. I love chili with beans. I love chicken chili. I love chili. And there have been times when I didn't have money. You can make a fabulous chili with no meat in it whatsoever, just using beans and vegetables. So there are always options. What do I need to do next? Anybody? Anybody know? All right, so we got the chili going. Let's make a couple of the fixins for the Frito pie for when we get to that. And then we will put together our Cuban sliders. That way I can actually make Robbie some food that he can eat now, which he's super happy about. So, do you guys all know what Frito pie is? You're all familiar with Frito pie? You take chili and you dish it out over Fritos, and that's the basics of it. Traditionally, it would be served with white onions and cheddar cheese. So we're gonna shred some cheddar cheese, Because if you shred your own cheese, and you guys have heard me say this 100 times, it will melt better. Because if you buy the pre-shredded cheese, it's got stuff on it to keep it from melting and coagulating and being a big giant mess in the bag. And so we have found that even when we've made queso and macaroni and cheese and stuff, the sauces get grainy when you use the pre-shredded cheese. So shred your own cheese if you don't want that grainy thing and you want nice melty cheese. Chili and crackers. So you just have so you do the same thing, but you do it with crackers instead of Fritos?
Yep, I've done that. It's good.
Is that good? Lockdown lasagna. Yeah, so we are going to be making a pasta dish at the end of the month. So our last stream of the month, we'll be making homemade short rib ravioli. And Robbie is the pasta master among the many titles that he holds. And so we're going to be making that, which is one of our favorite dishes that we make. All right, so let's get some onions cut up for our traditional Frito pie. In addition, when I offer things to put on Frito pie, I also have sour cream and I do avocado. Hello, Space Pixels. It's evening there for you. It is still daylight here. It is 12:57 here in Texas. All right. So we're just going to chop up, and I'm probably, let me only do a quarter of this onion for now. And me chop up the rest. I don't know if any of you guys do that, but when I have extra onions and stuff, I like to chop it up and stick it in freezer bags. So if I'm cooking in the evening and not for you guys, where I'm just trying to, talk and have things to do, I can just pull it out of the freezer. And it's already cut for me, which means fewer dishes for Robbie. So 1957. Let's see, that's almost 8, right?
Yes.
So hey, Space Pixels, if you will remind me, where are you? Uh-oh. Something came from Amazon at the front door. It's delivered. Denmark. Okay, that's right. Yeah, it's the middle of the afternoon and Robbie hasn't eaten yet, so I'm going to have to make him some dinner. But we're making some Super Bowl food here. Some things that just sound like they go with football and beer. And I'll stick these onions back in the refrigerator for now. We'll shred some cheese. Or we'll have Robbie shred some cheese. I bet it's more hearts because the store was out of them, so I had to purchase more. All right, let's stick those in there too. It is time to clean my refrigerator. What are Cuban sliders? What a great question, Morphine Bear. So a Cuban sandwich is bread, slices of ham, like deli ham. It usually has some sort of shredded pork or even like pork loin type thing on it. It's got mustards, it's got pickles, it's got Swiss cheese. So we're going to be doing those on Hawaiian rolls rather than the traditional bread you might see a Cuban on, which would be usually flatter than that. National Hockey Championship, ha ha ha. American football, where there are too many rules now, and they've made it less fun than it was when I was growing up to
But there's
watch.
really good commercials.
But they're very, a lot of people watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials and the halftime show. Hang on. The onions are getting to me. But yeah, so we're going to be making some sliders out of that. And it's going to be, I don't know if you've watched TikTok videos or any of those when they've done like the sandwiches on the baking sheet and you just throw them all in the oven and cook them. So I want to do that for Robbie, but we need to shred some Well, we'll shred some cheese in a little bit. We'll do that right at the end. So you have to hit the showers. Okay. All right. We'll be waiting for you. Yeah. So this is one of Robbie's favorite sandwiches. And so this is, you'll find variations on this, but there are the must-haves for a Cuban sandwich are ham, pork, in addition to the ham, like some other kind of pork on there, Swiss cheese, mustard, pickles. So that's what we're doing. Okay? And I'm gonna put this out here. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a nice butter sauce for this. And while I'm making this butter sauce, can you get me out another baking pan? Because these are for the French fries, so I can't do that. All right. So for this one, it takes a stick of butter. So super low cal already, right? You can already tell.
Is it low calorie if you just don't count them?
It is. If you don't count the calories, there are none. That's how it works. He's just standing there like this. So let me get all my stuff out. Well, oh, that's not a whole stick of butter. Can you go get butter out of the other refrigerator? And I'm gonna cross my fingers that there's butter in the other refrigerator. Whew. Excuse me. So while he's doing that, we're gonna get out some good old-fashioned yellow mustard. There we go, that sounds better. We're gonna get out our Swiss cheese and our ham. And I'm gonna get out some of the pork. So this is the pork from the tamales. And we're gonna zhuzh that up in a bowl here in a second. Yay. All right, so this is like 2 sticks butter, I think. Yeah, this is like 2 sticks of butter. So we're gonna use half of this. And the good news about this is it's not an exact science for this particular, it's just the butter that we're going to be putting on the bottom of the pan and on top of our sliders. Oh, the other thing we need to do is we need to turn on the oven because it'd be bad. You need to head to the market and hope the sliders turn out great. Okay, well, hopefully we'll see you later, and if not, I'll see you next time. I decided to go to the market on Friday because I was like, if I try to go on Super Bowl Sunday, it's gonna be crazy. So I'm gonna need to chop some herbs here. And this called for parsley, and I don't think I picked up parsley. I think I may not have done that. So we will put some dried parsley in there. And I did not get fresh oregano because I thought I had some. And I went outside and it all froze. Okay, but we do need garlic. So let's take some garlic. This would help if I started melting this, but I need to turn that on. And we want 2 cloves of garlic for this. This is going to be ridiculously good if it turns out. So while this calls for fresh parsley and fresh oregano, we're going to be using dried for both of those. And just remember, if you're using dried versus fresh, you want about half the amount of what you would have for fresh. This garlic is stubborn. We haven't seen the dogs today too much. Maybe in a minute, Robbie will let you see so one is down here scavenging on the floor. I don't know if you can see him. He's scavenging for food. The other is outside. I don't know if you can hear him. I have 2 dogs, if you didn't know that. I have Otis, who's the one scavenging on the floor here. He is going to be 15 this year in June. And Rocky will be 2 in July. And he's a menace. He's cute, but he's a menace. I can smell that chili. Can you smell the chili?
Yes, it smells very good.
All right, we're gonna mince our garlic. You could use the pre-minced garlic if you want to in making these. I will tell you that fresh garlic tastes better, in my opinion, because when you start cutting garlic, it starts releasing the enzymes, that oil, and when you have it that it's packaged, you've lost some of that fresh garlic flavor and some of the garlic oils, which is where a lot of the flavor is. I'm so glad you guys are giving me some ideas for April. Or March. I'm sorry, March.
Whoa.
And April. And December, apparently, too. I'm like, I cannot even fathom February yet. I'm not even.
February?
Yeah. I'm still working my way through February. That was for the chili. Let's get one for the butter. That's a new spoon. So, Robbie, do you have a favorite of who you want to win in the Super Bowl today?
No, I think either way I'll be happy.
Okay. Just happy it's not Tom Brady?
He will not be winning today. That's a given.
All right. I want about a teaspoon of parsley.
I guess maybe I'm slightly rooting for the Bengals because it's been forever since they've been there.
That's good. I'm good with that. All right, we want the zest of a lime and the zest of an orange. Is that going into the butter? It is. Okay. So that butter's all melted. If you guys can see it, you cannot because you're looking at the main camera. Now we're gonna zest. Get the handy dandy zester out. This is a tool I use almost every time I cook. Right?
Yes, I watch that a lot. That's how I know.
That's how he knows what a zester is. And there are 2 stickers on that line.
You don't want to zest the sticker?
I do not want to zest the sticker.
Is that Dana's pro tip of the
That
day?
is my pro tip of the day. So the oils from citrus are in their skins, and the oils have have a lot of flavor in them, more flavor than the juice actually. So that is why in a lot of recipes you will see to use the zest. It's a more potent flavor. So if you are using juice, you're going to get a weaker flavor. A lot of them use both the juice and the zest. But I always suggest, unless you absolutely have to, don't substitute juice for the zest. It has a different flavor to it.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello, Rachel. How are you? The other part too is make sure that you're not getting into that white stuff that's underneath the citrus because that is bitter tasting. You do not want that. You just want the colored part. All right, we got some lime. Let's get some orange in there. And that's going to add, that's a little different than the regular Cubans. It's going to give it a nice, Cuban sandwiches. It's going to give it a nice, zesty, no pun intended, flavor. I'm excited about these. I wish I could eat a bunch of them, but I'd be miserable tomorrow if I ate that much gluten. So next we need...
She says she's hungry. Me too,
You're
Rachel.
hungry? Well, you can come over and eat. So we need about 12 ounces of pulled pork. This is way more than 12 ounces. This is the pulled pork that we made for the tamales. So this is going to give it a little bit different flavor just because it's got some other ingredients in it already, as you can probably see here. It's got a little jalapeno. It's already got some garlic in it. But I think it's still going to be perfect for this. So I'm going to weigh out 12 ounces. And the only reason I'm weighing this out is because this is the first time I've made it. And I want to make sure that the flavor proportions are right, you know? Because if I have too much pork on the sandwiches, it's not going to taste right. I have too little, also not going to taste right. So we want about 12 ounces. Are we having anyone over today? Maybe Robbie's sister and mother, since they're hungry. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it just teared. I don't know why it did that. Well, that's not good. This does not want to tell me how much this weighs. I need a new scale. Anybody have recommendations on a good kitchen scale?
It's bugging out again.
Here, let's do this and see if I can zero with something on it if it just doesn't like to. Okay. Okay, we got 6.5, 7.5, 8.5. Let's see here. Koopa Cat. Oh, you read the, and you know what? The test kitchen reviews is a great idea to look at that. Yes. You have the recommended scale. So what kind of scale do you have? But I do like America's Test Kitchen because they'll test a bunch of, because they actually do test everything, right? All right, put this in the bowl over here. I still have all the shredded pork. I'm gonna have to make some Latin food this week. You've been making chili this morning too. Awesome, Kelsey. How are you doing other than making chili? We're making so many things, Kelsey. You should be here. All right, so how much of this? About 3 tablespoons of this butter. Let me get pork off of my hand and out from underneath my nails, because that's the part that's actually bothering me a lot. I really never had nails until the last few years, and I don't really know what to do with them most of the time. So for this, got this nice butter mixture. I'm just gonna kind of guess this. Robbie has not had to cook yet. 1, 2, 3. That's not sounding good for you, Robbie.
Oh, no. Oh.
Kelsey Lewin cheered. X500. Oh, let's change that.
So the good news is, Robbie, there's going to be a lot of assembly here.
Even the computer voice was taunting me there.
Yes. Let's change that. Okay. So 9 by 13 baking dish. I had you get out this pan, but we need a 9 by 13 baking dish. All right, you ready?
I would say yes, but I have no idea what you have me doing, so.
Okay.
No.
Is this 9 by 13 or is this
That
smaller
looks
than
close
that?
enough to 9 by 13.
I've got to fit 12 rolls in here. You think we're going to fit 12 rolls? I don't think we are. So I think we need the next size, which is probably bigger than 9 by 13, but.
So am I just supposed to start eating
Nope,
things?
this is the 9 by 13.
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Nope, here's your recipe. Look at the assembly.
This
think
looks
you-
like a 9 by 13. Good
Yes.
job.
Thank you. All right, so if you guys don't know, OXO Good Grips 11 pound. Okay, I'm gonna go order that right now. Okay, so I'm gonna have you read the recipe.
What?
But read it out loud.
I see directions. Has the oven been preheated?
It's
going.
preheating.
Melt the butter in saucepan. You did that. Medium bowl, combine the pork, butter, tossed coat. You did that.
On the pork. Yep, that's
I
done.
can't even see the thing now. You did that. So I'm spreading some of the remaining butter mixture on the bottom of this baking dish. That's this.
Yes, not all of it though.
Oh, some of the remaining butter. So we'll try to not use all of this.
And you might want to get a spoon to get some of the stuff out of there. Otherwise, you're going to be left with lots of stuff.
There's stuff.
Okay. How's he doing, everybody? I'm not giving him, I'm not telling him what to do this time because I think he can handle this one. Let's see how he does.
That's a really bad
Woo,
idea to make that
Robbie.
assumption. I appreciate the support, though.
So, Koopa Cat, since this is kind of your first time chatting, where are you and what brought you here? Yes, Robbie is his name. He's also drink more arsenic, but I tell everybody, please don't drink more arsenic. In
Or
fact,
any.
don't drink any
Or any.
arsenic.
That name predates the cooking show. Does that look good? Is that nice and spread out?
I think it looks good.
Okay. Next step. Top the roll bottoms with the ham. Wait, what?
You need to you missed a step in there.
I read it directly from the thing. Spread remaining butter. Oh, good, they're already pre-sliced. Excellent.
In the bottom of the baking dish, then place the bottom half of the rolls in the butter. So that was the part you missed. I'm just trying to figure out where to put
Not a lot of room here. The timing on this stuff is just so excellent. Just over there,
I know.
relaxing. Thank you, Kelsey. Well, I think they're all gonna fit, so that's good.
Yes.
So we're getting them soaked in butter is what we're doing.
Yes. Because butter, can you believe it? Butter makes everything
Butter
better.
tastes good?
It does. You're in Canada? Oh, well, thank you. I'm so glad that you are here. Do we have anything planned for St. Patrick's Day? Nope, that's next month.
Other
but
than
I will.
maybe some headwear.
Yes, I do have. I have. Robbie's very excited that I have headwear for us. If somebody wants to, here, I can do it. Will they be done by? These sliders will be done well before cook-off because.
Cook-off or kick-off or both?
Kick-off. That's what I meant. Here. You
There.
gotta do that for.
They made it in there. We made them fit.
Okay.
There's more.
Uh-huh.
But wait, there's more for me to do.
Where did OBX go? Because you can't see it either, can you? There it is.
I don't know why I'm pointing to the screen. That's not going to help you.
It's not good.
It's right there. Top the roll bottoms with ham, then pork, then pickle. Well, let's do this one at a time. Ham. Ham. So do I have to, I guess I have to actually tear these to make it.
I mean, that would be one way to do it. The other is to lay it on there and just cut
Cut it?
everything at the end.
Which would you do? If Dana was still cooking
would-
right now.
I would not have given you that advice if I was going to do it the other way. And this isn't super thick, so I would put a couple of pieces. Are you looking at me for approval?
No.
I would do like 2 slices on top of one another, at least. But yes, these will be done, all of the food will be done by kickoff.
If it's not, it's because I've had to cook way too much and it's all my fault.
Good, we have plenty of time. The kickoff isn't for another 3.5 hours plus.
Da, da, da. I see why you sing now. It helps
Do
you
you?
concentrate.
That's interesting because you don't cook, you don't sing very often.
I don't cook very often. I think we found out why.
Well, you know, you don't get better at things if you don't practice.
Hey, look, I got 2 layers. Does that look good enough?
So think about the Cuban sandwiches that you
'Cause there's
eat
a lot
that
of
you
stuff.
like. Do you like more ham or not? Is that enough ham, do you think?
That's probably good.
Okay. Okay. What's next?
Now pork. That's this.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can click on the scene below so they see more of the food than me.
What's it called?
That
Remote
one.
cam,
That one. That
big
one right
web.
there. Yep, click.
Okay.
There we go. Look
Now
at her
remember-
producing over there.
I want you to remember you have to use all of that meat. It's designed, all of that meat is designed for that dish.
So there's not a second round of these.
No.
Okay. Da, da, da. Thank you, Colin. Or you might be actually cheering Dana for changing the scene, which is the much more likely.
We'll let Robbie have it.
But I think it was for Dana, and that's okay. She's working hard over there, taking a break and sitting down and just smiling,
I don't have a drink yet, but that's
watching me work. Yeah, Dana, how about you make us a beverage while you're over there?
yeah.
Oh,
I'll wait
it
till
was-
you do it.
It was worth asking.
We don't have a fancy beverage today. It's a football day, so we're gonna do beer. Hello, Southern Texas Toast.
Hey,
How
Southern
are
Texas
you?
Toast. Good to see you in here.
Yeah. So have you started kicking off your streams yet? Are you getting going on that? Tell my community a little bit about what you're planning on doing. We're getting ready for a party. We're getting ready. I mean, even though nobody's coming over that I know. We're pretending like we're getting ready for a party over here, but Robbie had to cook. So, because somebody redeemed
Kelsey did, I think.
yeah,
right?
my daughter
It was Kelsey.
redeemed make Robbie cook. So I know, if I recall correctly, because I saw you in Nikki's channel, Southern Texas Toast, is that you're just now starting out streaming, or have you started yet? You're struggling with the camera situation. Oh yes, the camera situation is struggle. That struggle is real.
It's a process.
There have been many times Robbie has been cursing before we've gone on. Like mild cursing. Arr.
I just sound like a very angry witcher.
Yes. Arr. That's what he sounds like. So Sea of Thieves. Well, let us know when you get going on the cooking stuff, because that'll be. I love to have more people in the community on that. But if you like Sea of Thieves, go follow Southern Texas Toast for now, or follow, and we'll be waiting for that camera situation to get figured out. Your sister says you're doing a great job, Robbie.
Thank you, Rachel. Are you guys coming over or not? Or no, now that I've got stuck cooking part of it and that won't be as good.
Thank you, Fallen Age. Thank you for giving that shout out. I want to somehow bring a little gaming into the cooking stream at some point, because sometimes there's times you gotta wait for things to cook, and I thought it might be kind of fun to do something, and I'm not
Like a Jackbox.
like a Jackbox type thing where you guys can participate too, because that would be great. Did you get all the pork?
Getting there.
It's all on there. Because that's the one, I love the Jackbox games. I think they're fun.
Might even get my brother to join.
Maybe. What?
I know. There we go. How's that looking, everyone?
Is it doing good so far?
Because the pork's gone, so there's no more
said,
pork.
He said he was hungry, so now he's got to make his own meal. What's next?
Pickle slices.
So they're up there on the counter behind you. Good job, you're doing good.
Do I just put one of these on each?
That's up to you.
It's up to me.
It is up to you. You're cooking.
Some of these are smaller. We'll just cover it.
Because we're going to cut everything afterwards, right? I like how Robbie's always so precise
Quality
with
control.
everything. How are they? Are they good?
It tastes like a pickle.
Awesome.
It's a good start.
It is a good start. So, thank you for the bits.
Hey, thanks so
Vaping
much.
_villain cheered. X100.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the bits.
Getting closer and closer to making that birthday cake.
I know. I'll have to find out when we get there whose birthday's closest and make it for them. So, thank you, and thank you for the follow. So glad that you're here, Vaping Villain. So if we hit our goal of the bit goal, I'm gonna attempt to make the Milk Bar birthday cake. I know there's a picture of it down below as well. You can also look it up online. Milk Bar makes really just amazing stuff, and that's a little bit of a complicated one. So we may all have a laugh while I try to do it.
We would never laugh at you. How's that
All right.
look? We look pretty good?
It looks like it's covered in pickles.
All right. And finally, the cheese.
That's just for, then you got stuff. You like, I do like pickles too. I love dill pickles, I love bread and butter pickles, I like spicy pickles, I like pickled jalapenos and pickled onions.
Hey, I found it. Here's the cheese.
It's amazing how I had everything ready for you.
Mise en place.
So the kind of cheese you use on a Cuban is, what is it, Robbie?
It appears to be Swiss.
It is Swiss cheese. That's very holy Swiss cheese. It may need another.
Might need 2 layers.
Might need some holes covered there. Cheese and the pickles. The Cuban sandwich just has all the good stuff going. You know?
It's no wonder why I like it.
Pork is so good in all its forms. Last night for dinner, I had my steak, and I also have roasted Brussels sprouts that had lardon, which is a type of pork it's kind of bacony. And then tossed in some balsamic vinaigrette. It was so good. So good.
There.
Okay, what's next?
Hold on. Let's fix a couple more spots.
He wants-
Just
Just make sure that's this holy
there we
Swiss
go.
cheese.
You can never have too much cheese.
Exactly.
That's my tip of the day, and Rachel probably agrees.
Your sister likes cheese?
She does, just a little bit.
Okay.
Pickles, finally the cheese. Spread the
Yeah.
mustard on the underside of the roll tops. That's these.
Yes. And for the Cubans,
And then lay the tops on top of the cheese. Well, I mean, yeah, that'd be where they'd go.
you're not supposed to use American cheese for this, but you know.
You do you.
You do you. So for a Cuban, typically you just use yellow mustard, not any of the fancy mustards for the Cuban. In case you were wondering.
Do I need to like really spread this out or just whatever?
I would take a knife and spread it out, but that's just me.
I'll go find a knife.
I would turn all of the tops over, like on the cutting board, and then I'd put the mustard and then I'd spread it all at one time. But you do you. If you want to do it and make it take longer, that's fine.
It's
This is the easy way to make, like, you can do this with like making cheeseburgers. Like, think about sliders. Just put them all in the pan like this, get them in the oven with some butter, and then take them out and then cut them. This is the easiest way to make a lot of sliders instead of one by one by one by one.
But I'm doing my best to make them one by one.
It's got to have mustard on it or it's not a Cuban, Rachel.
You'd be surprised if you gave it a try.
It would be good. Would you? Yeah, you're not doing it the same way you put the tops down. Okay. It's not the same way you put the bottoms down.
You know what? I'm in control now.
Well, but here's the deal. We wanted to cut the same way so that we have a top with a bottom, but it'll probably be fine.
There.
It's fine.
There.
Southern
All
Texas
good,
toast
fixed.
is on your side, Robbie.
Thank you.
Says it's fine.
Team Robbie. Uh-oh.
You gonna? Am I out
Dana.
of that? Am I out of that now?
No, but there's some in there. It's fine. It's fine.
Super Bowl 53. Which one was that one? Who was playing in Super Bowl 53?
If you give me the year, I might be able to come up with it.
What Super Bowl are we on this year?
56? Maybe?
Yeah, well, Joyce, apparently it's his sandwich and he's going to do what he wants. Patriots versus Rams. Oh, yeah.
Ta-da!
Yep. Okay, now,
Oh, there's more?
one more step.
Is it putting it in the oven?
Nope.
Oh, that's right. We're putting the... Boy, there's a lot of steps in step 4. This entire process has been step 4. Anyway, so now, the fun part, we're pouring the remaining butter on top of all of this goodness.
Yep. And it's been over 5 minutes, so I will help you with
Oh,
this
she's going to
piece.
do the fun... Okay.
Okay,
No,
you
no,
do
no,
it.
no, no, you do it.
I thought
This
I would
way
first.
I can blame you if something goes wrong.
I see. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to put this on the top this way rather than just pouring it over. That way I know every bun is completely covered in the butter sauce. That's all I was going to tell you. Pain in the butt.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have some scoring in the Super Bowl because otherwise it's boring. I think more than one will turn out looking. Actually, you don't even need a whole one to turn out looking good. If you see pictures of my empanadas, I only put the first one in the front, and that was the one that looked the best. Several of them did not look as pretty.
And we've been lucky lately. The Super Bowls have been competitive and close and exciting because however many years ago that was with Denver and maybe the Patriots, where it was just a blowout. Maybe it was the Ravens. I can't remember, but it was not a close game. And it was like that right away. So maybe it'll be
There's
another
a lot
good
of
game
garlic.
today while we enjoy this delicious food.
Yeah, my garlic isn't minced. We may get a mouthful of garlic there, but... All right, how's it look so far?
It looks great, Dana.
Now they're going to go into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. So there we go. See? Before oven. And the oven's at 375, if you're wondering. I forgot to clean that bottom oven. Whew. They may be a little smoky. I did that right, by the way. I always like to pat myself on the back when I do the timer right on my oven, because even though I've had the oven now for, is that 2018? So 3 years, 3+ years, I still use the timer wrong. Okay, you know what's next, everybody?
Eating?
No.
No, still making more food.
Yes. We're gonna start making some potatoes for our Nashville chicken sliders. Then we're gonna pull those out and fry those. So, ooh, yay. I don't think I need any of that anymore. I don't know how I always manage to make such a mess, but I do.
Because you're just that good.
Yeah, let me clean some of this up though. I want to check on my chili too, see how that's going. Don't you think we should check on the chili? I think we should. Oh, smells so good. Let's give that a try. Hello, Drinkwazer.
Good?
It has just a hint of spice in it, as of right now. And we don't need these right now. I'm gonna stick those in here for drinks or something later. And we'll put this in the sink. And we'll put these in the refrigerator. Actually, I'm gonna need these pickles, so for presentation purposes. And then, all right, so I'm gonna grab these potatoes, and here's what I'm gonna tell you about this. I bought a while back this little crinkle cutter. Here, you want to. I was cutting just before we went on the air, so that's kind of why it looks a little dirty. But I bought this. I'm gonna suggest if you wanna make your own crinkle fries, buy a mandolin that's got this on it, because I have not been able to get these even at all while I've been cutting them, and I practiced a lot. So we're gonna take as our potatoes. I'm not gonna peel them, so make sure you wash your potatoes really well if you're not going to. All right, so this is supposed to be the bun for our Nashville chicken sliders. The other thing I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna soak these in cold water after I cut them. And I think I'm only gonna do one of these potatoes. I'm not gonna do both of them for now. If you're making French fries, there are a couple of different methods. I'll tell you about, I did 2 this morning. I tried 2 methods this morning. The first method I did was soaking them in the water. Hey, thank you, Drinkwazer. Give me 1 second and let me finish my thought. And then I'm gonna put your name on one of these little hearts. Okay, so I did 2 different ways with my French fries today. I did with my fried potatoes. I don't even wanna call them French fries, but this is for if you're frying potatoes, for French fries, for waffle fries, or anything like that. One batch I soaked in cold water, and the other one I used their recommendations on how long to blanch the potatoes. It was too long on the blanching of the potatoes, and they completely fell apart. So I'm gonna go with this cold water method. The other thing is that when you want to get those fries really crispy, not only do you want to soak them and get some of the starch and the enzymes off of them, you also want to double fry them. So you want to fry them at a low temperature, which helps cook the potato. And then you want to fry them after you've taken them out and let them cool down a little bit. You want to put them in a much hotter oil. Mine didn't turn out fabulous this morning. I'll show you some. They're cold now, so they're kind of floppy. I don't think I had them at a high enough temperature when I fried them the second time. So I'm gonna crank up the heat and cook them at a higher temperature this time. So there's that. So before I forget, let's get, let's get one of our little conversation hearts and get Drinkwazer's name up here. I like the purple ones.
Do they have to sing too? Did you see what they said?
Oh, which was what? Do you have to, a mandolin, do I have to sing too? No, you don't. But you can if you want to. I just probably won't hear it because you're probably too far away. So, Drinkwazor. And let's see, what month are we on? You've been doing this for a while, 4 months. Thank you so much for your support. I love that. There we go. Our little conversation hearts. Okay. So if you're gonna peel them, if you're gonna peel the potatoes, you can. You're not gonna peel the potatoes, make sure you wash them real well. So I'm going to attempt to do this a little bit better than earlier today, okay? But see how they're just turning out in chunks. I can't get them thin enough to really look like waffle fries, but this is what we're going with. So when you're using a mandolin or a crinkle knife like this, you just go back and forth. One way, and then the other, turn it 90 degrees. So I'll probably ditch this and next time get a mandolin. Or you wanna do it the really easy way, go buy them at the grocery store already cut for you in the frozen food section. They say there might be, I bet there's going to be tight security at the Super Bowl. There's tight security everywhere nowadays. But they just don't, they're just not waffle fries. You know, whenever I try to cut them thin, this is what happens. All right, let's see, this way. But they'll make a fine bun, hopefully, for our chicken sliders. And if not, I have a whole nother bag of those Hawaiian rolls. So we can always just use that. If there's a trick to this and anybody knows using one of these knives, I would love to know what it is, because this has not been helpful to me at all when I've tried using it. So it is, you've never seen a wavy knife. Like might use this to cut fruit for something, but I think it's just a poor thing to do the waffle fries kinds of things. Oops, see? Can't use that for a bun. Let's see, which way do we want to go now? Let's say, if I square the bottom first, it could, but then it's not round, and I want it to be round. That's why I need a mandolin instead of this. I did do that earlier today, but then I've got to square not just the bottom, I've got to square 2 sides because you're going back and forth. But I guess if you want a square bun, you could square all 4 sides. But then I don't have potato peel. I know, Robbie's like, but thank you, Hunter. The knife Lay's uses when they make wavy chips. Yeah. So like if you were really good at this, you might be able to cut these thin enough to make the wavy chips, but yeah. Not Dana's forte here.
At least not yet.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna get a mandolin next. Because look at that. That's just ridiculously not good. But I mess up and I try these things so you don't have to. All right, one more time here. All right, so we're gonna let those soak for a little bit. And meanwhile, I'm gonna start getting my, and there we are, in the water. This way, Dana. Okay, I'm getting better at this. Not by leaps and bounds better, but somewhat better. All right, I'm done with that knife. So we want to bring, I've got in here some neutral oil. I think this is actually a combination of peanut oil and canola oil. But I don't want anything like I want something that has a high smoke point, because we're gonna put this oil first to 300 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that because that's gonna take a little bit of time to do. I may fry the other the other potatoes a third time. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, when we're done with these, we're gonna then fry the chicken. And then I think we'll have a bunch of food to eat. So, yeah, I had ice in it earlier this morning. This is really cold. You know, I had never blanched them before too, but I'd heard of that as a process. And this was somebody who had gone to culinary school, but he had them blanching for like 5 minutes from cold. So then they were in the water as it heated up and then in boiling for 5. And I was like, see, that's just not right. I think you need to boil the water, then stick the potatoes in for 5 minutes once it's boiling, and it might work better, or maybe even a shorter time. So, yeah, so this is pretty cold water. But some people will do ice water. Some people will keep them in water like overnight. But we're just gonna do 20 minutes here because that's what we got. That is what we got. And Robbie is going to be so excited because before we start frying the potatoes, he's actually going to have, hey, no. He's going to have, this by the way is the other dog. Hey, Rocky, you going to say hi to everybody? Oops, there you, where are you? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Say hi. Oh, he thinks I'm trying to put him away or something. He is a sweetie pie, but don't let him fool you because he's actually a velociraptor. He looks like a sweetie pie, but he's a velociraptor. Find any good rocks lately? He does, you know, he used to bring them in when he was a puppy. He used to bring rocks in and try to eat them. But he has not done that lately. Has he?
But he still loves chewing on pencils and remote controls.
On my shoes this morning.
Your shoes.
Mm-hmm. My good shoes this morning, the ones I wore last night.
He has expensive taste, David.
He does. He does. So maybe while we're standing here, Robbie can make us his famous beer.
I can go find some if that's what you mean. I'll go find some.
Okay, how about that? So here in Texas, in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, we have a brewery called Revolver. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. And one of our favorite beers is actually their Blood and Honey beer that they have. So that is what we are going to have today because it's Super Bowl Sunday. So like a mixed drink. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think for watching a game? Like what's a good drink for that? Although I'm actually really thirsty, so I think I'm going to drink some water here while I wait for him. So if you like things like Blue Moon or things like that, the Blood and Honey is a really good beer. It's got blood orange peel, Texas honey, and spices, but it's not like sweet or anything. It's still beer. Whew. I'm like feeling a little overheated in this kitchen right now. I don't know why. Maybe. We'll see. We can get the mixer out of the way too. Even though we didn't use it for mixing today. I'm gonna put this away. Whew. Oh, you're not having any, or you just poured mine first?
Just showing it.
That's good. There is in these glasses. So these glasses say Family Business Beer Company, which is in Dripping Springs, Texas, and it's actually owned by Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. So it's the family business. So if you watch Supernatural, if you get it, that was kind of a fun place to go. It feels like it's out in the middle of nowhere because it is in the middle of nowhere out around was it around Austin? Yeah.
It's on the west side of Austin, west or southwest side.
So if you like beer, that's a good place to go.
Hashtag looking for a sponsor.
Whew, I'm gonna drink some water though first, I think. You haven't made the drive there yet? To Austin, in and of itself. There's so much to do in Austin. I love Austin.
Yeah, I've been there a lot, and I still haven't done so much.
So traffic. Austin's traffic is, belongs with Chicago, LA, and New York traffic. It's so bad. And it's Austin.
And then what's the vodka one we like around the same area?
Deep Eddie's.
Deep Eddie's.
Mm-hmm.
Their place is really cool too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on around Austin. So if you like Fredericksburg is near there. There's a lot of wineries and breweries in Fredericksburg. You've got Dripping Springs vodka. Deep Eddie's vodka has the coolest bar area downstairs where you can watch them bottling up their stuff, and you can do like your tasting of their different vodkas. Robbie had a drink with lots of fruit and stuff stuck in yours there. I did a tasting.
It was good.
It was good. Well, it was a little sweet for me, but I haven't actually made the brewery in Fredericksburg yet. I've done probably half the wineries there. It does look a little like Willy Wonka's house, for sure. But I haven't been there yet. So, is the beer good though? It's maybe cool, but the test is the beer good? Because Fredericksburg is, when it comes to wine, some of the wines are really good and some of them are not. And I won't say which is the beer is good. That's good. And the food. So Kelsey and I and my cousin are actually going to head out to Sonoma in May. So I'm looking forward to that because a lot of the places look like they also have very good food. So what's the name of that brewery? Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that trip, the three of us, girls' weekend out in Sonoma. They have some cool places out there. And I've been to Napa a couple of times, so I've never been to Sonoma. Come on, oil, heat up. Although I still have plenty of time because it still has to dry out. Not dry out. I can't dry it out. It's sitting in water.
I was gonna say that's
What
gonna
am I mean?
take a very long time.
We're going to be here for 4 weeks while the water sits there. Is everybody else looking forward to the Nashville hot chicken? Because I am.
I am. It's gonna be tough. I don't know which one I'm gonna like more, the Nashville hot chicken or the Cuban sliders, because those are like 1A and 1B.
Altstadt, that's right. That's what that's called. Thank you, Southern Texas Toast. You know what we can do? Do you know what you can do?
What I can do? What happened to the wheat?
We need to shred some cheese.
More importantly, what happened to the royal we over there?
Polka music. That always reminds me. My grandfather's from Germany, so when I hear like the polka music, it reminds me of him. I need some shredded cheese. This has
really worked against me ever since we found out that shredding it ourselves is way better.
And that he agrees with me. It's not just me.
Right. It's more work, but it really does make the difference.
You don't have to do a lot because it's just you and me as of right now. So.
And it sounds like it will just be you and me.
Okay. We just need maybe.
Unless someone else from chat wants to come over.
So just about that much. That's it. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of food. You've seen how much food I'm making, right? It's a little bit of a drive, yeah. You might make it by the Super Bowl if you drive really fast and live on the north side of Austin. You know what that timer means, Robbie?
Food?
Oh my goodness. Don't you love it when I ask you to do something and then I say you're in my way?
No.
You don't?
No.
I thought you did. Look at those. That looks so good. Now, I'm actually going to leave these in the oven with the oven off just to keep them warm. But I wanted to show everybody because we got a ways to go with the other food. All right, my oil is now at 300. I want to keep it there because I want the first batch in to be at 300. He's not having it, moving it out here. Right now it's so, I know it is in Austin too, but like everything is selling above asking price in the area, unless there's something seriously wrong with the house. But I just saw somebody I know who was like complaining because they had put an offer in well over asking price on a house nearby, and the person was like, yeah, we'll get back to you like in a week. It's like, it's over the asking price. It's crazy. Very crazy. And I've had a couple of people move here or move back here, and they're like, they can't afford to buy a house. You bought, so many things went wrong. I know, it's crazy right now. It is crazy in Texas. We'd love to have you down here, but no, it's crazy down here. It is very crazy. Oh, you got a new build. I mean, we've been talking about that, even though I just redid my kitchen in 2018, and I'm going to be doing my laundry room starting next week.
Your patio,
Yep.
Yeah, why not build a whole house after?
Wasn't a year and a half? It was 2 years ago, because it wasn't it.
I thought it was right before the big freeze.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. Time. All right, so we're gonna pretend like these have been soaking for a while. I get them on here and dry them. I'm gonna have to keep experimenting with French fries and stuff because we didn't really fry anything in a deep fryer when I was growing up. Even chicken was done in a shallow, cast iron pan. Oh my goodness, that's not gonna cook right at all. So we're gonna get rid of that one. I cannot cut with that knife.
Otis says you missed him.
Oh, okay. Yet, it don't change us. I mean, they can't change you and, your own opinion. I just think more people are getting out and voting. But some things like different kinds of restaurants and stuff have been kind of cool. I enjoy that. All right, let's get these. Let me make sure this is up. The temperature went up some. So I'm gonna turn this off and let it cool down for just a minute. Meanwhile, I will get my chicken out. Because we want to do that too. And now I'm just in a waiting pattern, holding pattern. This is when you need multiple fryers in your house. Look at all the cheese. That's for a Frito pie. If you are hungry and would like a slider, you take a picture of it in the pan and then cut yourself a couple of sliders out. I do not need any more cheese. That was all it's for. Oh, I don't want a state tax either. But did you see they were talking about trying to get rid of property taxes? Okay, how are you going to pay for things if you have no property taxes and no income tax? It doesn't make sense. You got to pay for stuff. All right. But politics, we'll leave politics alone. It can just be its own thing. Back to food. Back to food. Okay, so what do you guys like? If it's Super Bowl, awesome. If it's World Cup, whatever. When you're sitting around watching a championship game of some sort, whether it's that, what do you like to eat and what do you like to drink? It could be water. Maybe you like to drink water. But what do you like? Yeah, I don't want to talk about, politics just because it's a cooking stream. It's supposed to be fun. Woohoo! That is a good question. I don't know where I found that thermometer. I've had it for a very long time. I'm sure I ordered it on Amazon. Because, actually, I think I got it at the grocery store. I think that's where I got this one. I think they had a sale like buy two, get one free of all their cooking tools. And I think that I had found a couple of things that I wanted to get. And I was like, I could probably use a thermometer sometime. I think it sat in the drawer for a couple of years. And then I started practicing frying. And that's when I finally took it out. And today I figured out that the little clippy thing slides up and down the glass tube, which made it much easier to clip onto the pot once I figured that out. But don't worry, I've only had it for like 4 years. It only took me 4 years to figure that part out. So yeah, it's just one of the grocery store brand ones. But what I want, see my oil got up to like 375 and I really wanted it 300. So, no utensils required as your baseline. Nachos and cider, okay.
I like it.
Nachos and cider is a classic game day. Snackadium. Did I say that right? Snackadium. Nachos are always good. I think we're gonna have to do nachos this week because I have leftover chicken and leftover pork still. And that would be excellent on nachos. But I also have puff pastry, and I even have gluten-free puff pastry, which, by the way, is excellent if you are gluten sensitive like me. So I'm going to pay for this beer tomorrow. I'm going to tell you right now, the beer and eating a Cuban slider, I'm going to pay for those tomorrow. But the gluten-free puff pastry is awesome. We made empanadas. I used like the chicken filling from the tamales and made empanadas with the puff pastry. It was awesome. Guacamoles. Oh, I see what you're saying. You made a guacamole field and used sour cream for the lines, cheese end goals, and the chips were the fans. I like it. That's awesome. That's really cool. I like that. That's a great idea. And hopefully you took a picture of it before people attacked it to eat it.
We forget to do that.
Yeah, we forget to do that sometimes. Come on, temperature. It's very tough. This is going to go down really slow just because it's in a cast iron pot. That's what I get for not watching it. I'm going to go ahead and fry some of these. Oh, thank you so much for giving a sub to Dixon Cider. Are they even? Oh, I see what you're doing there. Somebody in here has a sense of humor.
I do enjoy a nice warm cider on a winter day. Though.
Do you? someone else remembers for you. See, that is smart. Having somebody, I'll have to have Robbie remind me all the time. Yes, some people like to have fun. They like to have fun. All right, I don't want to overcrowd this. I'm okay with the temperature dropping because it's a little higher than I want right now. We're going to give it this first fry for a couple of minutes. What I really want to prevent from happening on this first fry is I don't want it to take on any color. I want the color to come from the second fry. But like I said, we have other options if this just doesn't work at all for me. Because the potatoes were puffing up on me when I was cooking this morning. So what I was saying is that we just didn't fry stuff when I was growing up, other than the fried chicken. So I never got to learn this from my mom. Which, if you're new here, my inspiration for starting my stream was my mom and my grandma. There's not enough light over here for you guys to really see very well. And take a look at our very 70s kitchen there. My mom loved that wallpaper. She thought it was the best. But they're my inspiration. They loved to cook. They were great cooks. And it's so funny because I go back and look at recipes and I realize you can see that they were cooks in the 50s and the 60s in the home. And my mom, as she got older, really changed and started cooking differently. But so many things have prepackaged, pre-done stuff in it. My mom loved Trader Joe's in the later years when one opened up nearby her. So just something easy, but it was always delicious. And then there were the traditional things that were made around the holidays, like the Christmas Stollen, which I made this year. This username, no, not exist. Hello. Hello, username that doesn't exist. Welcome in. Yeah. So I can see it's starting to get a little color, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. And I have my other tray over here. I'm gonna stick these on. Yeah, so like if you look at some of the, like I worked at fast food restaurants growing up. Where's my thermometer now? Where is it? Oh good, it's right at about where I want it now, temperature-wise. You'll see that they actually, a lot of times, the fries have already been blanched. Sometimes they've been treated in a, oops, there's a fry hiding over here from the first one. Let's get him out. No cheating. You cannot stay in the pool. Get out of the pool. I was featured on National Geographic. Interesting. I don't think I was. But I love National Geographic. I actually, probably in my 20s, there were a couple things I wanted to do in my 20s. And one was my major in college was radio, TV, film. But I also loved photography, and being a National Geographic photographer was one of the things I thought would be amazing to do. There was a book that came out, and I think it's on my shelf somewhere, A Day in the Life of America. Have you guys ever heard of that? I want to say that came out in the early 90s, and it was a bunch of photographers, and National Geographic helped with it and everything. And they took one day, and they sent photographers across all parts of America, from where the sun first comes up in Maine. And that's the first place it touches the United States in the day, to the last point in Hawaii, where is the last place it goes down. I think Hawaii, I don't think it's in Alaska. Maine to Hawaii, because that would be the last place in America that the sun went down. And they had photographers just out there what do people in America do on any given day? And it was really a beautiful book. Alaska, you think does Alaska have the last place the sun sets on?
I mean,
Versus
Hawaii's in
Hawaii?
a farther time zone, so I wouldn't think so. But
I don't know.
who knows?
Is the book up there?
Look up where?
And that was back when I had no money, but that was one of those books that I definitely had to have. So I know reality shows, I don't know if you like reality shows, good for you, you do you. Is it? Yeah, yeah. So many of the reality shows show the worst in people, and I don't want to watch that. I'm a therapist. They bring it to my office. I work, that's what I did. A Day in America, Robbie found it. He's gonna bring it over here. This is true. Sometimes the sun doesn't even come up or set in Alaska. So this is what the book is. And it was photographed by, they had 200, it says 200 photojournalists in one day. Although I think there was somebody who flew, like they did like the sunrise and then they flew someplace else. But it's just, maybe not that page. It's just kind of cool, like how do people start their day? How do they live their days? I'm trying to find something that will be okay to show on here. But just like lots of big pictures. And so it's like, what did America look like in 1990? And I think this would be fascinating to do again, except I think you could just have people with their cameras and stuff. Because everybody's got one.
Here's one from Dana's bedroom, I think.
No, but mine looked a little like that, except there aren't enough Duran Duran posters. Although at that point I was married, so. Okay, let's get those out. I'm gonna pump the heat on this oil up. So, depends on, you'll buy it. How many crystals do I want? I like my book. I actually will probably look at that today because I haven't looked at it for a while. Robbie, if you're hungry, you can pull the Cubans out. The Cuban sandwiches, not people or cigars. Oh, I think I left a French fry in there. Or not a French fry, a potato. And we're gonna give these another chance here. Another chance. It is a coffee table book for sure, and it was on my coffee table for a very long time. It would be good, like every 10 years. You know, but social media is and I agree with you, so one of the things you see as a therapist a lot is people talk about how other people have these wonderful lives. Hey, thanks for following this user. How would you like me to address you? Because your name is very long. Can I just call you this user? Do you have something else?
Do you go by not exist?
Do you go by not exist? Exactly. But there's a lot of that. I see like moms trying to make the perfect birthday parties based on Pinterest posts, or people saying, oh, these families have these vacations and they have, I'm like, I promise you they have problems. So, well, that's a little long too. So I'll just go with this user for now, unless you make it shorter name. So yeah, just like people can call me Dana instead of Dana's Kitchen, if they want. So I think it would be kind of fun just to have people submit pictures of their everyday life. Problems and lots of debt. They have lots of debt. There are some people who have that too. Yeah. I mean, I've known people that are, you might have to just eat that. That would be terrible. Robbie's over here, you guys can't see him, but he's over here cutting this.
This is a hack job.
You're ruining my sandwiches?
Trying very hard to not ruin.
Okay. Let me look at the temperature on here. Is it going up? I still want it a little hotter than that.
Now it's not hot enough.
Well, yeah, the first batch is supposed to be at a cooler. So
Their story.
for these potatoes, I was trying to fry them at around 300. And now I'm going to bump it up to 375 because 350 didn't work very well earlier today. He hasn't eaten any yet, but he'll let you know if it's yummy. You did a bakery class recently. I need to get back to some cooking classes because I really enjoy them, especially if it's some new flavor profiles I'm not familiar with. I've even thought of going to the Culinary Institute of America. Has a place in San Antonio, and they do like week-long boot camps. So I thought that would be fun, and that way I don't have to, commit to going to culinary school, but I get some of the benefits of it. So what did you make in your bakery class this user? Are you gonna have one?
Would you like one?
I'm gonna have a bite of yours, which means you will probably have more than one. I wish the fry was the opposite because that would have made it easier since it was already at the temperature I wanted it at the first time. Cakes, cupcakes, patties, biscuits, pizza, and buns. What was your favorite thing that you made? And do you have a favorite flavor of cake? What about the rest of you? What's your favorite? Do you prefer cake over pie? What's your favorite? Oh, Robbie wants to show this to you.
I was going to take a picture in the light. Show 'em.
There we go. Ooh, it's a nice crunchy bun, but not like overly crunchy. The patties. So what are patties? Because I don't know if I know exactly what that is. I have an idea. But anyways, what do you think? What do you think of the slide? Here, let's get Robbie to turn this. Oh, wait, we do have it on. Here we go.
Well, not big.
He's gonna make it bigger. Ooh, let's move this over here. Look at this. All the goodness in there. I'm trying to show you guys. It's not turning out. Dana doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, look at the melty cheese. Buttermilk pie. Oh my gosh, it's so, it does have to be right, and it's so good, but I can't have very much of it because it's so sweet usually. All right, I'm gonna take a bite.
And I haven't taken a picture of it yet.
We have all these over here. I'm gonna put them on a different plate than this. All right, let's take a taste. That's really good. Here, I'll tell you what I would do next time. I'd maybe do a little less orange zest. But it's really good. And it's my favorite. It's like gooey on the inside, but it's got like the bun is like nice and crispy on the top and the bottom. So that is
all
good.
that butter.
And now I have pork stuck between my teeth. All right, fry number 2 coming up. For these, and then the Nashville chicken sliders. Okay, so I have had those when I was in England, but I don't think they were called patties. I think they were called pasties, maybe? If they sell well, you can become a millionaire. If anything sells well, you can become a millionaire usually. All right. So we're over here doing fry number 2. And see, this is the thing. If you have the waffle fries with the holes in it, I don't think you get all of this puffing up of the potato. Do you see how that's kind of puffing up a little bit. So these, we want them to get some nice color on them. And I've got the oil at about 375. And Robbie's going in for a second sandwich. See, you can take a picture of that one if you really want to. And he's situating it underneath our big light that we have over here. So I'm hoping these work for the bun, for the Nashville chicken sliders, but we'll see. We will see. And then for the rest of the week, I really need to stick to some vegetables because this is a lot of...
Boo.
Did you not like the eggplant parmesan I made last week?
I mean, it was good. It wasn't sliders dipped in butter good.
It had cheese and veggies. What do you think of the sliders? Inquiring minds want to know.
They're very good.
The Super Bowl will be on in about 2.5 hours. So we have plenty of time. Plenty of time. But we want to clean up the kitchen, maybe go for a walk, all that good stuff beforehand.
If we eat all the food, we're going to have to cook some more.
Well, I was going to make empanadas on stream too, but that just seemed like an excessive amount of food for 2 people. The dogs were like, we'll help. And I'm like, it's probably not a good idea. These are looking a little better than the ones I did earlier today. But it's going to be the texture that's going to matter the most to me. Did it get crispy enough? You have cheese for miles right there. If only we had a camera on Robbie, a little Robbie cam all the time. He would love that. So when we started the stream, I was like, Robbie, you don't even need to be on stream. It's fine. And now you can redeem bits and make him be on stream. All right, let's get some more potatoes in there while I let those cool and see if they are the right texture.
Well, I tell you, the Nashville hot chicken's got a lot to live up to because that was really, really
That's,
good.
the sliders are good. Well, I'm making it the right way this time.
Which?
The Nashville chicken sliders.
I didn't know if you were talking about the fries again.
No, I'm making the Nashville sliders.
The dogs are looking at me like, that looks really good. Why don't you share some of it, Robbie?
Meanwhile, so this is how you do a Nashville chicken slider. You put all of those yummy herbs on, let it sit on the chicken for a couple of hours, and then you dip it into buttermilk with hot sauce and then a flour mixture, and then you fry it. So where are you, this user? Where are you located? Deep fry is the right, well, actually for Nashville hot chicken, if you go to Nashville, we're gonna be deep frying it because I've already got the oil in here and we're going. If you're in Nashville, most of the places are gonna do it in a shallow oil in a like a cast iron pan or some sort of pan and put it in there and fry it and turn it over and do it. But I am gonna deep fry the Nashville hot chicken. Anyone know how potato chips were invented? I do not. Do you have that information handy, Master of Splits? And do you bowl? Is that why your name is Master of Splits? Or you just make really good banana and ice cream desserts?
Or a gymnast.
Or a gymnast. Good. Good thought. Look at you. But I'm just gonna assume somebody had potatoes real thinly sliced and threw them in some oil and said, these are good. Native American, African American chef at the Moon Lake Lodge Resort in Saratoga Springs. Now see, I want to go to Saratoga Springs sometime. I may have been in that area at one point when Kelsey was little for a family reunion, but I don't remember.
We were probably relatively close to that area of the country for our road trip.
That was one of the places I wanted to swing through was Saratoga Springs, but it would have made our drive much longer. So, good information. Thank you, this user. They've been around for a long time. Let these cook for a couple more minutes, and then I am going to get all the stuff ready for the chicken.
And you're not going to forget about your Fritos, right?
No. We'll do that too. At the end, we'll get the chicken done and then we'll show Frito pies. Or we can do that.
I was just making sure they didn't get forgotten about because I saw them on the counter.
We will not forget about Frito pie. Like, that is the most Texas thing here today. Because we got Nashville, we got Cuba, we got not Texas chili. Oh, so it was like, here's your French fry. I don't like these French fries. They're too thick. I don't like thick French fries. I like thin French fries.
So these fries would probably be too thick.
For me, as French fries.
And for the customer back in 1853.
Yes, definitely. Come on, babies. Finish frying up. See, these still just aren't crunchy the way I want them to be. So we'll leave these in a little longer. I think to get that crunch, you need really, really hot oil. But you don't want it to be too hot because you want the inside to cook too.
And you patted them dry or whatever?
I did. I did all the things I was supposed to do. Am I doing in order for home use of the potatoes? You don't know?
I know I'm focused more on the sliders. French fries are...
Like, we have other buns.
I like French fries, but I really like the sliders today.
This
is just for us.
Just for us.
We're going to have plenty. She'd probably be willing to sell you some.
I don't know.
This is
I'm
just for
not
us.
happy with these.
Well, it just sounds like they can get a discount.
I think what I need is the crinkle mandolin before these work out. These are a little crunchier though. I can already tell. But we want to shake that oil out. If your oil is not hot enough when you're frying stuff, your stuff will absorb more of the oil. It should be hot enough that words. It should be hot enough for that. Let's see. The invention was an accident. Oh. And the customer liked it. Well, I'm glad that he did it to aggravate. See how sometimes just being a smart ass invents something new. All right, next, let's finish up those Nashville chicken sliders. How about if we do that? Oh, I think I got like pepper or something underneath my nail because there must be like a little cut. That hurts. All right, let's see here. Whisk together the buttermilk hot sauce and eggs. So I need about a cup of buttermilk. And let me go get my cup measurer. It's so hard to tell if buttermilk is still good or not. Let's see. Sounds like Texas fried chicken, except that it is spicy. There is on this spice that we have here 3.5 tablespoons of cayenne pepper.
But the recipe calls for 5.
Yes.
We ran out last time and only used 2.5, and it was still pretty spicy, so we only went up a little bit today.
Robbie said, I think I can handle 3, and then I accidentally put in 3.5, so.
We'll see how that goes, considering it was asking for 5.
5. I mean, Nashville hot chicken is
they don't mess around.
hot. They do not mess around. That is true. Egg, and we're gonna get some hot sauce in there. I don't have my favorite, but I do have some Scotch bonnet. Hello! Welcome in, Pops. How are you doing? We're starting to make our chicken for our Nashville chicken sliders. That is what we are up to right here.
I'll show you the...
Oh yeah, I gotta see the sliders. These are Cuban sliders. They came out of the oven a little while ago. I had a bite, it was delicious. Robbie had 2 full ones so far, so I guess that's good news. I can't smell the Scotch bonnet sauce, so we'll put a little bit more in there. I know. We had to come on early today so that we can watch the game. All right, I just want to make sure, is that, okay, that's fine. And then we just need flour. So we'll put some flour over here. And I'm just gonna double check. So second bowl, salt and pepper. Oh, that's sugar. We don't want sugar. Let's put the sugar away. I'm going to use my gluten-free flour because I think that worked pretty well last time. Hey guys and girls, or whoever you are.
Even puppy dogs, if there's any puppy dogs watching.
Even puppy dogs. Okay, I'm gonna turn down. My oil got really, really hot. How hot does it want this to be?
How hot is it, Dana?
It is at about 375, and this one's about 350. Okay, I've got flour. Dunk the chicken first in the buttermilk, then dredge in the flour. Seasoned flour, you didn't tell me to season the flour. Yes, you did. You told me to put salt and pepper in there.
Who are you talking to?
Me.
Oh, okay.
And me, because I talk to myself all the time. Rocky is out there barking up a storm. We may want to bring him in so that we don't annoy the neighbors too much.
Great idea.
Shake the treats. Shake the treats. He likes treats. If somebody yelled treats or shook treats, would you come inside? Come inside. Ice cream.
Or Nashville chicken sliders, I'd come running.
Yeah. So we'll put some of this chicken. So, Pops, I'm doing Nashville chicken the right way this time, which is I put all the spices on and let that sink in the refrigerator. Already the cayenne is getting to me, but we used more cayenne pepper than we did last time. So we'll see. And these I know are different sizes. And now he's inside barking.
How'd that work out for you, Dana?
Welcome to my life. Like, this is much bigger than those other pieces. But we'll just keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on everything. So, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That sounds like you're cooking.
Popscockles cheered. X500.
You ready? I'm going to get him started on the frying part here. Let's see. All these need to be washed anyway. I'm gonna show you, Robbie. Okay. You're gonna cover these in the flour. Dredge them kind of.
Covering chicken and flour.
Knock off the
Knock
excess, and let's just stick it on here for now because I want you to put it into the pot at the same time so we have a better idea.
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay. So get all of these covered because this is the first batch. So we'll let you do this batch and another batch of that. Robbie's tag. Thank you, Pops. I get another break. I'm going to take my beer and sit down. So, woohoo.
Yeah, you haven't really touched your beer yet.
And then I can read chat. I know, my beer's the one that doesn't have a lot. Robbie is doing good. He had to put the Cubans together and get those in the...
But then I got to eat some of them.
But he got to eat some, so he was happy. You would run if somebody yelled treat to you? Yes.
I have a treat. I'm going the other way now. And I think I'm going to have to fly hand.
Huh?
I'm going to have to fly hand very soon.
Are you?
Is this part done?
I already put it in the buttermilk for this particular one, yeah. So you're just dredging it in the flour and making sure to shake off the excess. And then check the temperature of the oil to see where it's at.
Oh, it's that purple line. Is it like 3, 4, 25? No, I don't.
I think I'll go check that then. Oh wow, it's almost at 400. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off right now. We may need to just check it. If it ever drops below 350, we're going to need to turn the heat back on. So because I'm using a cast iron Dutch oven, you can, depending on how much you're frying, it's gonna hold heat for a very, very long time. There are times like if I'm making macaroni and cheese or some side dish, I'll make it in the Dutch oven because I know that while it's sitting out on the counter while I have people over.
So no, we're going to make more?
No, I want you to do that. So get the spider and put all of those in the spider so that you don't splash. And you may have to do half and then half and get them in the oil. So, because the Dutch know how to bake. I don't know how it got its name, a Dutch oven.
Ta-da! It's making noises.
It is making noises. All right, and so you're gonna just kind of watch them. And you can get the next batch ready while that's going. And wash your hands first.
Do I just drop it in there?
Well, you want it to be covered in the buttermilk stuff.
Okay, covered.
You guys can help them if you want.
And then shake, shake, shake.
Uh-huh.
And then flop.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
And don't forget to check what's frying.
What? Oh, I forgot to grab my microphone. That's fine.
Oh, here.
Hear me talk.
Is this one on?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Now you can
Now
hear
people
Robbie.
can hear me.
See, I was supposed to take over tech duties. That was a fail on my part. Hello, Spunk TJ.
Hey, Spunk TJ.
Yeah, we've been on for almost 3 hours. We're making Nashville chicken again, except we're making it in a slider form. And if you look over there on the left-hand side, those are our Cuban pork sliders. And it's Robbie's turn to cook because
Thanks, Pops.
Because Pops said time for Robbie to cook.
So Dana needs a
So-
break.
Yeah, so it's because the Super Bowl's on. Yeah, we've made chili too. So we're gonna put together some Frito pies here after the chicken is done. It is gonna be delicious. How's that chicken doing?
I don't know.
What color does it look like?
It's bubbly.
Yeah, but what color does the chicken look like?
Yellow.
It doesn't look like it's browning yet.
Hey, Zool!
Zool!
We managed to get you out of the fridge.
I'm just gonna look at this, people, because I don't want it to get overcooked. And I'm using chicken thighs because if I were trying to use chicken breast to do sliders, it would almost certainly get dried out. Whereas with chicken thighs, it's not quite so bad. And now we need to turn the oil back on because the temperature's dropped. By the way, when you've got stuff inside the pot, the oil as well, the temperature will drop.
Yes.
So,
Just why you don't want to
Zool.
overcrowd it, right?
You've only seen Frito pie and King of the Hill. It's a thing. It is a thing here in Texas. You will see it at a lot of places. So Zool. Zool is if you're wondering what Zool is a character in Ghostbusters. So, you were getting too cold in the refrigerator, I bet. So, I had some canola and some peanut oil, so it's a mixture of the two of them. Yes, Frito pie is a thing all over Texas. But not everybody's in Texas, so they don't know about Frito pie. There was a song about Frito pie.
They don't know what they're missing.
So usually if I'm doing deep frying, I usually use either canola or peanut, and I just used both this time because that's what I had. All right, since he has, how are your hands doing there?
Okay.
You need to make sure you've got stuff on all parts of it. That's not what you're supposed to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's gonna be plenty. You need to pull these out. I will hold the tray for you.
You think these are good?
Yes. They're nice and crunchy. They've been in there long enough to cook.
Ta-da! Oh, I need to put more in there now, or do I need to let it recover?
Let's let it recover for a couple of minutes because we're at 325.
And you want it at what?
We want it 350. Reason why you want to make sure your oil, did I say this? I said it inside my head. I'm not sure if I said it out loud. If your oil is not hot enough, your food will absorb more of the oil. So you want it to be at the right temperature so that you get the fry without getting the greasy. Because we've all had greasy French fries, haven't we? We've all had greasy something that was fried. And most likely it's because the oil was not hot enough. And that's why, like, this is my second time using this oil. I will toss it after this. I'll usually only use my oil. I'll use it once. And then what I do is I use a strainer over my colander so that I can get all the food bits out of it. And I'll use it a second time, but usually that's it. It's usually you can see how dark the oil's getting. So once that happens, it's time to get rid of it. Not to mention, I don't want to keep this because we were doing Nashville hot chicken in it, so that will definitely flavor the oil for
True.
other things.
That is a good point.
Yeah. My mom used to have a big bottle of oil that was always that was like for the fried chicken. But that's it, just for the fried chicken. I don't know how many times she used it. You're not a big Frito fan. Oh, but it's really good. Yeah, somebody was saying earlier, who was that, saying that they like it with crackers instead of Fritos. You can use something else. I think what works with the Fritos, though, is that they're really, it's like thicker than like a tortilla chip, and so it holds up really well putting liquid on it. And they're small enough that you can pick them up with a spoon. So yeah, come join me in Discord. Put your ideas in there. Show me pictures of your food. You bought cold pressed oil of peanuts. You can use it 3/4. Oh, so you can only need to use 3/4 of it because it's more dense. The salt on, are you saying the salt on Fritos? There's a lot of salt. It's like a salt bomb when you have Fritos, for sure. So.
What did you want this at again?
$3.50. What's it at?
Almost there.
Okay.
It's almost ready to go again.
And Robbie's just gonna keep making.
I don't know. Your
there.
break might be over, Dana.
I don't think so.
I think it is. So we need to have at least a couple good ones.
You just need to keep going there, bud. Pops needs to get his money's worth. But we want to make sure, let's see, is it the one, remote cam, which one do I want? Split one?
What are you trying to do?
To see what you're doing? Oh, no, because it is that one. We just got it on the oil instead of on what you're doing. Do you see how all that chicken does not have flour covering it all? It really should.
Can you tell me to shake it off so it won't
Woo,
be too
sorry,
crazy?
guys.
I don't know what I'm doing over here.
Well, we'll just see whose is better. Let me take a look at the temperature over here. Yeah, you can put a batch in now. I would do half of what you've got done in there. You love seeing your brother cook? I do too. It's very fun for me.
Some more than that?
Why not do the double dredge method? Because that is not how they do Nashville hot chicken. This is the way. This is the way.
This is the way?
This is the way.
And then cue the music. Whatever that whistle is, or...
Yes.
It would have been a lot better if, like, the music had magically played when I did that.
Do any of you guys watch The Mandalorian or Boba Fett? Because we were watching Boba Fett, and it felt like it was more episodes of The Mandalorian. Several of them felt like they were episodes of The Mandalorian. So Pops, a lot of times I will double dredge things. Just kind of depends. You saw both? So with Fallen Age, if you watch Boba Fett, you'll get like 3 episodes of The Mandalorian in there. There was an episode I was like, I thought we were watching Boba Fett. Oh, there goes Rocky.
Dog wrangler's busy.
It's all biker gangs. It is kind of fun though. I agree. All right. I will relieve you of duty here.
There, I technically got all of the chicken in there for you. With my
I think you got
club hands.
5 minutes of Boba Fett in that one. And the second to the last episode. Let's see how these are looking. So, some of these.
What was that? A
in
shush?
here
What?
because it needs more flour on it.
My dogs are so confused. Yeah, every now and then Rocky will still hear something on the TV, like a knock at the door or other puppies, and goes running to the front door, all excited.
Can I tell you the funniest thing about the TV and Rocky is when he was a puppy, he would, he hated, you know how like everything has got like boxes and stuff and you choose the boxes on all the different apps? He would growl at it, he would bark at it, he was scared of it, and I'm like, dude, really? It was really actually pretty funny.
He
Well,
wants to
Rachel,
watch the shows. He doesn't want to see menus.
I haven't really given you any spoilers. We didn't tell you.
She was pretty good that she didn't really spoil anything.
What?
You were good that you didn't spoil.
Yeah.
Believe me, we could spoil stuff.
Yeah,
We're
we
not-
could.
We're not that type of people.
I think the Nashville chicken is going to be
Right.
something I'm going to have to make more often for Robbie. Maybe Joyce, maybe you'll come over and have some Nashville hot chicken too. I'm almost certain this is not, I'm not almost certain, I'm certain this is not Rachel's jam. Nashville hot chicken.
If we put enough cheese on there, maybe. But
Still.
there's tons of cheese on the Cuban ones.
I'm talking, but that's not the Nashville chicken slider.
I'm just saying, I think we
I
could talk her into the
know.
Cuban sliders.
That's why they're small, so that we can put it on buns or on the fries. So you do want to make sure that you cover all parts of your chicken, because you can see what happens otherwise is that the spices start bleeding out. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. I'm gonna let those go for a couple more minutes. And soon it'll be time to assemble some things.
Excellent, because that sounds like the next step is to eat.
Yes.
I'm very good at the
absolutely.
eating.
You've already started that process. So I'm not sure what the complaints are. I let you eat when the first sliders were ready. So Avengers Assemble. So in the end of the series which
Just that
series?
Just that there's stuff at the end of the credits that you see, you're like, oh.
At
But
the end of
we can't talk about
at
it.
the end of the Mandalorian, or at the end of
At the end of the Boba Fett.
oh, did we see
I'll
that?
tell you later.
Okay.
We
I
want-
don't remember. I know we're not
we
gonna
don't need
spoil
anyone to say in
things.
chat. I'll tell you later.
If I'm gonna spoil something, I will make sure close your ears, turn off the sound for the next couple of minutes. I'll go like that when it's safe. So there we go. I'm gonna run out of flour here, because this amount of flour was really meant for big sandwiches. So there's going to be a lot more crunchiness to these.
So Rachel, it sounds like you're very willing to try this. Here,
That's
Rachel.
okay. That's more for us.
That's for Rachel.
We've made you hungry. Thank you so much, Southern Texas Toast. And if you want to check out pictures of what we're doing, they'll be in the Discord and they'll be on my social medias. So check it out. Check it out.
Thanks so much for being here.
And thank you so much for hanging in there. Okay. See, once you see, there's a little bit of a difference. Do you see the difference? Robbie, do you see the difference in the colors?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm on camera or not because I lost my picture. All right, let's get a few more of these in, and it looks like we got 2 more batches. This batch and 1 more batch after this that we'll put in here. Let me make sure this is hot enough. Definitely cool. Don't need to wait to heat it up. Always fun to see the rolling, boiling oil, which I'll show you in a second.
Beef Wellington for lunch.
Oh, I love beef Wellington. It's so good. Mushroom yumminess, prosciutto, beef, puff pastry. Everything to love. Everything to love there. Now, did you make this beef Wellington yourself?
Hi, Mad Marky.
Hey! Yes, our barking raptor. He's outside for the moment, which is nice for me, bad for the neighbors. Which means in the end it might be bad for me. All right, so we are done with that. You guys can look at that for a minute. While I clean my hands up. All right, so while that is frying, let me show you what my idea for Frito pie hand food, because one of you was talking about wanting to have food that you can just pick up and carry around with you for Super Bowl or for watching sports. All right. We've got our lovely chili over here so that you guys can see how good that's looking. And turn that off for the moment. I'm running out of room here. How can I be running out of room in this kitchen?
Pops' wife made the beef Wellington, I guess.
Did you make the beef Wellington? You said you have, you said you were having, oh, your wife made it. Okay. Here we go. Take a bag of Fritos, right? Prosciutto and cantaloupe, yummy. Very good. And then you can put your chili right here in the bag. And then you can put yourself some cheese on there. This would be a traditional Frito pie. Some cheese. And then we've got some white onions. Just be careful because the bag will be hot until the chili cools down a little bit. My chili's very hot. And then some onions. You could put sour cream, you could put avocado, you could do all of that. And there you go. You mix it up in your bag. Let me show you over here. And there is, on the inside of your bag is your Frito pie. And you can carry it around. You'll probably want a napkin for the heat, and then you can eat just like this. Eat your Frito pie like this. Hello, Taki Roche. How are you? I know, isn't it good, like a walking taco? No, you can do that with other stuff too, but this is the way, I saw this someplace. It was like Frito pies off of like a food truck. Woo, a little hot. I can give that to Robbie because I think he'll enjoy it.
Thank you.
Since I got to finish cooking. But that's how you can make Frito pie. You have no dishes except for the fork, but if you have, you know, plastic forks, you have no cleanup from that. And then you can have all the fixins, have lots of different things. We've got avocados and sour cream that I may put on mine later during the game.
Yeah, the Super Bowl is the American Football Championship today.
You're from Norway. Awesome. Google didn't show you? Oh, yeah, it is good. Yeah.
So we need to get some pictures up for the Google. So we need to fix that.
We do. We need to fix that. Robbie's actually really good at the whole getting Googled. How many, your pictures have been viewed a lot on Google, haven't they?
Yes.
And the more they're done. So the other thing is if you don't want to make a Frito pie, you can have little bowls available, or even like little coffee cups for them to put chili in and put the stuff in, you know, that they want on top of their chili, which around here is typically sour cream and some green onions, but it could also be some jalapenos, cheese.
It is the American football in the States, yeah, not the real football.
It is American football, yeah.
You're not wrong. It could have a better name.
I mean, they don't use their feet very much. It doesn't make sense. Like soccer being football.
And the
makes
people
sense.
that do use their feet get paid the least.
I know, isn't that terrible? All right, last batch. And you can see that oil just keeps getting darker and darker. That's why we're going to toss it after this. And I'm still above 350, so fabulous. It is kind of handball. It is. You throw the ball. All right, let's see. So I've got these. I can get rid of this and get rid of that. Let's clean up a little bit so I can present things better.
Honestly, even in this country, in America, I'd say roughly half the people watch the game just for the commercials, if that tells you anything about the sport.
Those are fighting words. Somebody's going to fight you on those words. I used to watch it for the game, but now they're like holding. It's football. You're supposed to try and keep people from doing things.
It's kind of like another national holiday where people get together and it's an excuse to eat a lot of food. Have fun.
It is lots of commercials. And people spend a lot of money to get their commercials on it because there's so many people watching it. And it used to be that way because so many people were watching it for the game, but now so many people watch it for the commercials. And on top of that, the people who have the commercials get a lot of extra unpaid time. So
That's funny.
the good American commercials afterwards. That is funny. No, some people actually like watching the game. And I'll tell you, the playoff games here were actually pretty exciting. The game was worth watching, except that every once in a while it'd be like holding, and it's like, really? Like, I don't know. I got to hand it to him. How do you know, like, where the football is, and can I touch this receiver yet? And
Well, I would argue based on the number of penalties, they don't.
you can't get full on fancy. They do release advertising, yeah, of upcoming products. Sometimes they're not upcoming products, like GoDaddy's had them. GoDaddy is GoDaddy. They've had commercials forever on the Super Bowl. I'm always interested to see what the Clydesdale one for Anheuser-Busch is, since my dad worked for Anheuser-Busch for years, and that was one of the things that was like, the Budweiser commercials on, get in here. So, the cat herding one is funny, yes. Do they show new commercials during the pregame show? I don't really think
There might be some, but they're going to wait for the real big ones once the game starts.
For sure.
So I'm sure that first quarter is part of when it's the most expensive, when everyone's still watching.
UFC fights last night, live from Houston. I did. I was just really sad when Anheuser-Busch, they got bought by InBev. It changed a whole lot of things. Like when my dad worked for Anheuser-Busch, even after he retired, you got to go grab something to eat for the Super Bowl? Okay. Well, you also have a great day.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for stopping by. I love that you guys do that. I love that you guys are here. I think it's just amazing that I can stand in my kitchen and people from all over the world are like, let me watch Dana cook or make a fool of herself. That's okay too.
Or just talk to you.
Or just talk to me. But when InBev bought Anheuser-Busch, all of the things that we still got even after my dad was retired, like tickets to SeaWorld and stuff, we didn't get anymore. And that was very sad. Now I have to pay for them like everybody else. That is so unfair. It's a nice perk.
Yes.
We'll be back on Thursday. We're making tacos, Korean tacos, so come join us on Thursday. You guys won't want to see probably what I'm cooking the rest of the week. This is going to be healthy. Yes. Well, I agree, Taki Roche. It's not up to European standards of beer, for sure.
You found the commercial.
You found it. But they were a good company for my dad to work for. I actually was a tour guide at Anheuser-Busch one winter. I didn't work during the busy season, but I would stand in front of people and say, my name is Dana and I'll be your tour guide today. So, but just sad. When is kickoff? Kickoff is 5:15.
It's like another 2 hours or so.
Yeah, we still got a couple hours. You've never come by before. You've heard of cattle? Yeah. It's looking good here, people. I think we're almost done with this piece and this part of it. All right. I think I'm going to pull these out now. And Robbie's going to be so happy because I'm going to take one of his clean things and make it dirty again. You are not the Witcher.
Not yet.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool to be able to tell everybody, look at my boyfriend's eyes. Aren't they cool?
Wait, hold on. Mine or the Witcher's?
Yours,
eyes?
you said you're going to be the Witcher.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Are they already cool?
They-
Or they would only be cool if that happened?
They would be cooler if that happened. How's that?
Good save. Good
right.
save.
So if you were here last time, I did the Nashville hot stuff. I actually just put some olive oil in with the spices. But actually, what you're supposed to do is take some of this nice. Let's go see some nice cars. And you're supposed to put some of that in with it. The oil that you fried with. You know why? Because that oil has flavor in it from the chicken. And I think I'm going to need a little more than that. They'd have stumbled into a good beers on occasion. I see what you're saying. You know, a lot of the brewers, especially initial, I can't pull it over there because I will put it there in a second, came from Germany. One of my, now that may have been a little too much oil. One of the early brewers was actually, it's like great uncle once removed, something like that. But yeah, it's a different thing. Why do you think we always drink our beer ice cold over here? You don't taste as much of the flavor. All right. Are you ready, Robbie? I'm going to try one of these on. Look, I'm gonna do it on a heart-shaped plate, just for you, Robbie, because that's how much I care about you. Here, we'll turn it that way so you can see the heart. I'm gonna try it with these, with some of these fries. They're not crunchy at all. Let's see. I don't know, a dozen for $29, crazy. I will tell you that I didn't even see chicken wings at the store when I went. It was hard enough to find chicken thighs that were boneless. It's like you can get chicken breast and find those pretty easily, and chicken legs, but everything else has been very hard to find right now. It's been a problem. All right, you ready, Robbie? You want some? I'm gonna dip this in this sauce here, and I'm gonna let you taste it first.
Oh, you're scared you made it too spicy, huh?
Well, yeah, it was spicy enough for me last time. And then, do you want a pickle with it?
I won't turn down a pickle. That sounds like that could be good.
We'll do it this way, though. We'll put the pickle on top. And then we'll do that. Now you gotta come over here and try it. Started in, I know. This happens a lot of times, like foods, people they try and find interesting ways to cook foods that are less expensive, like skirt steak. Skirt steak was not expensive, right? And then people started making fajitas out of them, and then all of a sudden now, skirt steak is really, really... Here, wait a minute.
No.
You ready?
I think. We're about to find out.
Would you rather have it on a bun?
I mean, I would, yeah. It's got some spice to it. That was just the first bite.
Yeah, and even like I started buying chicken thighs because chicken thighs were less, you could do chicken thighs for under $2 a pound, and now it's more than that. You didn't know how this sandwich would, there you go. Yeah, but it's like there's a lot of things. Now is it starting to heat up?
Yeah, but so far I'm like, we could have gone up to 5.
Oh, really? How's that?
For me, anyway. I don't know how Dana will feel about that.
Maybe it's because last time I put the spices in the flour, so it was like right there. All right, I will try. I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make a small one now.
It's got some kick to it, but it's not 4-alarm burning alcohol.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm gonna go have a drink with a beer.
I mean, I could soak it in the sauce
if
longer.
I had 4 or 5 of them in a row without any sort
Well,
of
last
beverage,
time
it'd
you
be
didn't
pretty
have a
spicy.
pickle to cool down the heat either. So there was that. I'm definitely having a pickle to kill the heat. See, that's spicy for me. Woo! Oh my gosh.
I can still taste the spice.
I bet if you had a couple of these.
Right, I'd be sweating after.
Well, last
3 or
time you weren't
4.
drinking it as a sandwich, so you didn't have anything except the chicken.
That's true.
So there was that. That is really good. I'm gonna go make some pretty pictures and put them in the Discord after this. But all right. So you guys saw. Here I am talking with my mouth full. Sorry about that. Chili, so that you can make Frito pie. We made these little Nashville chicken sliders. We made the Cubans. Did everybody get to see that? These fun Sandwiches with pickles and cheese and pork and ham. So yummy. So yummy. So
Habanero infused pickles. Be like, here, have these pickles to cool it down with. Wink, wink.
where's the ice cream? It's in the freezer.
Oh, good, there is ice cream. I might need some.
There is definitely ice cream. So anyways, that is what we have made for you guys today. And I need to turn off all these. Wait a minute. I guess they are all off. That's how much heat is still coming from that
You're
oil.
seeing fire.
But habanero infused pickles, I'm going to keep that in mind for next time Robbie goes, this isn't hot enough. And we'll just throw some of those in there. Meanwhile, I'm going to have a sip of beer. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for stopping by. We've been on for a little over 3 hours. And we're gonna go clean the kitchen so we can be ready to sit down and watch a bunch of commercials that are interrupted by a American football game. Hopefully it's a good game. We're gonna go see Kanara. If you guys, by the way, are not following Kanara and watching her, she's hilarious. She's great. She's in Oregon. You can ask her any question about food safety. That is what she is an expert in. But she makes the most amazing food. So let's go woohoo and go see Kanara. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I always appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you and enjoy